Well, a very good evening and welcome to the Kia Oval here on BBC Radio Wales, BBC London, the BBC Sport app, the BBC website. We've got good news for you. We're a little delayed for this Vitality T20 game between Surrey and Glamorgan, mainly because of lightning, which has disappeared on the hottest day of the year. We then had a massive downpour. But we're dry now, we're ready to go. News from the middle is Glamorgan have won the toss and decided to bowl first. Delighted to say Nick Webb is alongside and former Glamorgan batsman Michael Powell is alongside as well. And good evening to you two gentlemen. And we're all sitting here slightly with a strange look on our faces that it is the hottest day of the year, but we have got a delayed start. But Mr. Powell, you've already put your cards on the table here. Surrey have never beaten Glamorgan in the T20 here at the Kia Oval, and you're predicting another Glamorgan victory tonight.
Well, you've just taken the words out of my mouth there. Surrey have got a horrendous record at home against Glamorgan, and you throw on top they're missing 5 of their best players and 1 or 2 others out of this Surrey lineup. It just all leans towards a Glamorgan win for me.
Well, sides this year both have played 2 games. Surrey have lost both of their games so far. Glamorgan lost their opener against Somerset, and then their game against Gloucestershire was rained off. So, Mr. Webb, they'll come into this in slightly unknown territory, really, from a Glamorgan point of view, but they'll be confident playing here tonight, won't they?
Absolutely, some great results here over the years, and of course Glamorgan now have an overseas player in their ranks, or an official overseas anyway, and Fakhar Zaman, the Pakistani opener who makes his debut tonight after missing last 2 games because of visa delays. So speaking of delays, the umpires are having another look at the heavens, just as Owen Morgan was preparing to bowl the first ball.
Yeah, I think it's actually more that something's not out there at the moment. They're sort of signalling away towards...
What do you reckon here, boy? They're bringing the disc out
discs.
here.
I think it's the disc. It's something to do with the discs. So, do they want... Are they saying those discs aren't far enough back?
Yeah, it looks like...
Yeah. So the discs for the inner circle aren't far enough back.
You couldn't make it up.
You could not make this up at all. So now we've got a delay because they're saying the fielding discs aren't far enough back.
And they're just guessing them, they're not measuring them at all.
Measuring them
but
out
not far,
at
but
all.
we're talking about 5 metres.
So it was Michael Hogan who spotted it. So Michael Hogan came over and said these discs aren't in the right place. So that now we've got a delayed start due to lightning. We've now got rid of the lightning. It then rained. We've now got a delayed start because the fielding circle isn't the right distance. So now the ground staff are going, they're sort of doing this by eye now under the tutelage of Michael Hogan and Ben Debenham, our umpire. So there's a few bemused looks on that Surrey, well, I was going to say balcony, but all the players are in the dugout.
In fairness to the ground staff who come out here, one of them's come out on his own. The other 5 have left themselves in the hut.
He's done a pretty good job here.
But I think he's only moved the ones that are back of the stumps.
Absolutely.
So where the bowler's running in from the square of the wicket, I think are fine because they've moved them.
I think we're in danger of the game breaking out in a minute. Nobody minds. No, I think it's going to be Owen Morgan to get us started from the Vauxhall end, and it'll be the right-handed Aaron Finch on strike. So we're starting with spin, and Finch turns the first ball into the leg side, and they will pick up a single, and there are ironic cheers around the ground because we are underway. 1 without loss. The other thing here is change in the batting lineup for Surrey. Surrey are unchanged from the side that lost against Middlesex on Tuesday night. Mark Stoneman is opening up with Aaron Finch. It was Will Jacks. He made 1 on... What night was it we played?
Tuesday.
Tuesday night. Thank you, Mr. Webb.
I was watching.
Thank you. I was here, and I can't even remember what night it was. And Will Jacks was out for 1 against the spinner. So Morgan left arm over the wicket comes into Stoneman. That's very short. Flicked away by Stoneman. He'll feel he's missed out there. He's just whipped it straight to square leg. And there is no run as Lloyd does the fitting. That was very strange. It was Michael Hogan who spotted it. It's a good spot from Hogan. And said, look, they're too close, these discs, at the Vauxhall end. Is in over the wicket again. Morgan sweeping, it's Stoneman
Oh.
straight down to short fine leg, and the throw comes in straight over the top of the stumps, and there is no run.
He's got away with that, and he's had two. The last two deliveries, he's been flicked a square leg. I think it's who have we got at?
I think Lloyd's at square leg.
At DeLange, I think, the man on 45. So 2 balls down leg side have just gone. 3 balls down leg side, and they've just picked the one single up here. Salter running in from deep mid-wicket.
Stoneman gets himself off the mark with the single. That brings Aaron Finch back onto strike. I suppose you look at the Surrey batting lineup, and that's the name that stands out at you straight away in 2020 cricket. Surrey got Ollie Pope back against Middlesex as well. They're missing a few. As tidy first over this from Morgan, even though the batsman had missed out a bit. That'll be 4 though. Stood up straight and swept it, Aaron Finch. So strong, Aaron Finch. And he's just stood up straight, swept it behind square for the first boundary of the game in the first over, and Surrey are 6 without loss.
Yeah, left-handed Morgan coming round the wicket and just angled into leg stump, and Finch just helping it on its way. As you say, quite a tall, upright sweep shot, powerfully struck.
Waits again, does Finch. Crowd all moving back into their seats. Tonight is a sellout as Finch is forward and turns this one into the leg side. Will stroll a single. That's the end of the first over, and Surrey, having been stuck in by Glamorgan after 1 over, are 7 without loss. But yeah, sellout tonight again, gentlemen, here in South London. All sorts of shirts being, there's an entire, they look like bumblebees away there to our right hand side, I've noticed, in stripy yellow and black jumpers with wings on their backs. So I think some bumblebees have turned up.
Could be a stag do.
Could be.
It's usually responsible. Yeah, so here we are with skies relatively clear at the moment. There's still a bit of dark sky around, so you wouldn't entirely rule out another weather-related interruption. We are finally underway, and Marchant de Lange is going to chuck down a few thunderbolts or lightning bolts of his own from the pavilion end, having gone for 40 in 3 overs in his first match. He bowls, and that's off an inside edge of Finch's bat down towards square leg, and they'll amble through for a single.
Be interesting, Lang. I think last year he actually got hit around the park quite badly here last year, if I remember right. He just bowled too short, and hopefully he's learned from that. It goes a little bit fuller here at the over, which can be a quick wicket. Got Cook standing best part of, what would you say, 20 yards back from the wicket here, so he's obviously a reasonable pace wicket. We're playing on an old wicket here. This is the one that Middlesex played on the other night.
8 without loss as de Lange starts his run, but Ingram's still tinkering with the field. He's got a slip in. He's got 3 fairly close and square on the offside as he bowls, and that one is hitting Stoneman on the pad and dribbling back down the wicket, a dot ball.
Does get it down there at a lick, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
de Lange.
strong, is he? Big, tall,
powerful man. Just, I wonder with de Lange as well whether when Finch is on strike, he might just take a bit of pace off it, because you know the way Aaron Finch likes to go about it, a bit of pace.
He doesn't tend to take the pace off
Does he
too
just
often.
bowl quick?
Yeah, it's mainly pace, pace and more pace as de Lange is in to Stoneman, who cuts through the offside, and that'll race down to the backward point boundary for 4 runs.
Yeah, the only thing with that is any width on this pitch against these two, they absolutely jump all over you. And Stoneman there, it's not that wide, but it's just short of a length, and he loves it there. He cracks it through backward point for 4.
12 without loss, Stoneman to 5 with that boundary. In the light blue-green of Surrey, apparently aquamarine, I'm advised, is possibly the best description of it. As de Lange bowls, and that's hit again backward of square on the offside, but this time straight to Salter at backward point, and there is no run. Glamorgan in the mainly yellow shirts and blue trousers.
Officially duck egg blue.
Is
really
it?
very
Yeah.
nice. If you were buying it in paint, that's what it'd be called.
That's right. If you wanted your kitchen in that colour, you would go in and say, "Can I have duck egg blue,
Farrell
please?"
and Ball.
Yeah, can I have duck egg blue, please?
12 without loss as Surrey as de Lange bowls, and that's flayed up
Catch.
towards third man, and it's
Yes.
going to be out. It's caught by Dan Douthwaite down on the third man boundary as Stoneman Stoneman has gone for 5, Surrey 12 for 1 in the second over, and Stoneman is caught at third man. Mike.
Another short ball, another very quick short ball, but a little bit tighter than the previous one that was cut and stopped at Salter at backward point. A little bit tighter and almost got a top edge there down to Douthwaite at third man. Good start for Glamorgan.
Is Stoneman unlucky or not to be out in that way?
Oh, look, you're going to be aggressive because it's 2020 cricket. He also was short, thought it was wider than what he was, but Douthwaite, I don't think he moved an inch there to catch that ball. And there's only 2 men out in the power play, and you're unlucky to find one of them. Usually you get it up over the field, you've usually got 4 runs this time in the game.
Yeah, he didn't have to move, did he?
No.
Just uppercut straight to him. And Delanga, as you said, just running and banging it in there. And Will Jacks makes his way to the middle gentleman. In his black, well, he's got black gloves now, Will Jacks, very colour coordinated.
And Surrey, those who know the game in depth in the county may be familiar with Douthwaite because he was around the academy stroke second 11 for a couple of years. Went to school in Surrey with Phil Salt, the Sussex opener. 12 for 1. Douthwaite is up in the circle now at short fine leg as Delanga will bowl to the new batsman Will Jacks, who gets a short ball. He's hit it right up in the air, and that one is going to carry though over deep backward square for 6 runs. 18 for 1. Jacks off with a maximum first ball.
Yes, unfortunate for Delanga. Another short ball. I could be saying this all night, but yeah, got hold of it there. It's a very good shot, I'd say. Could have cleared the boundary by 10, 15 yards there. Short, head high. Not a great end to the end of the over there.
Thought for an instant that he was going to hold out on that backward square leg boundary, but got enough on it and it dropped well over the boundary. So Surrey are 18 for 1 after 2 overs here on BBC Sport Online and via the Surrey Cricket website.
I tell you, that is what Will Jacks is all about. For anybody who's not seen Will Jacks, he is all about that. In pre-season, sort of went across the ticker tapes on the TV as well. 25 ball 100 in a warm-up game against Lancashire in Abu Dhabi, and he started the game against Essex, went 4-4 single, 2 sixes and out, but he's got all the shots. If it's there, he's going to go after it. Douthwaite's into the attack to bowl the third over from the Vauxhall end to Aaron Finch, who drives him on the up through extra cover and away for 4. And Mike, that's just a very nice looking cricket shot from Aaron Finch.
Proper shot, that isn't it? That could be a test match shot.
Absolutely.
You know, it'd be interesting tonight with Finch how he goes about his innings. Obviously a weakened team here down in Surrey, and I wonder if he takes a little bit more responsibility on himself and try and bat for best part of these 20 overs rather than being as aggressive as we've seen him in the past.
We had a phenomenal season last year, 589 runs in 9 games, couple of hundreds, 350s as Douthwaite's over the wicket to him. He drives again. This one will be fielded by Wag out there on the edge of the circle, and the throw comes in straight over the top of the stumps, and there's no run. But those 200s, one was a ridiculous 100 here against Middlesex. The other one was against Sussex, where he batted the full 20 overs, I think for about 130. And I think that's what he's going to... And he wasn't happy with it afterwards because he said he chewed up a lot of balls. That was his actual description of the innings. But yeah, you're right. He is the main man for Surrey in this batting lineup now as Douthwaite's in. Short ball, he's looking to help this one into the leg side. And I think that's hit him on the glove. And he'll get a single there. And just wringing his hand a touch is Aaron Finch. And he moves on to 12. And I did say to you, if you look up, all of a sudden it's all filled up. And it just about has now. And as I say, tonight another sellout here in London. But Glamorgan love coming here. Surrey have never beaten Glamorgan in the T20 in South London. As Douthwaite's in over the wicket, and Jacks has a nibble, and that just climbs at him outside the off stump. Good carry there into the gloves of Cook.
And that's the length there, just slightly fuller. He's sort of getting the batsman guessing, trying to get him on that front foot, and it's actually because of the bounce here, you end up going well over hip high, even though you think it's a drivable ball. And I think maybe Delanga, if we get him bowl that length from the other end, I think Surrey could have a lot of problems tonight.
Interestingly, even though this is the same pitch as Tuesday night, this looks quicker now than we saw on Tuesday night. As in over the wicket comes Douthwaite, and this is driven straight back down the pitch by Jacks. It hits Douthwaite's hand. I think you put that down as a caught and bowled chance, but it's almost gone straight back onto the stumps as well. And Finch would have been in trouble there backing up. But just looking again on the live stream, of course, this game being streamed on the Surrey website, yeah, it is a chance, it's a tough one, and Aaron Finch there, I think, would have been in trouble if that had come back and hit the stumps. But yes, you can watch the old live pictures on the Surrey website and the Glamorgan website as well. As over the wicket comes Douthwaite to Jacks. Jacks is forward, pushes out towards Wag again on the edge of the circle at cover, and there's no one good over that from Douthwaite after being driven first ball for 4. Backs it up pretty well from that point. 3 overs gone, and Surrey 23 for 1.
So just the 5 runs off that over from Dan Douthwaite. I thought they might go to Michael Hogan before him, but we'll see. It'll be Marchant de Lange with a second over from the pavilion end, running towards us in some evening sunshine, although it's been stultifyingly hot all day. We've had a good deal of cloud cover, and if you are just joining us and wondering why we're only 3 overs in, we had a nearly 40-minute delay because of first the risk of lightning, then a sudden downpour, and then the fielding discs being in the wrong place. You couldn't make it up as de Lange is in to bowl to Finch on 12 not out. That's on leg stump, and they'll go through for a single as it runs down to fine leg. Is there a signal of leg by there?
Possibly with a glove.
Possibly. It looked as though there was going to be a signal, but there wasn't.
Interesting change of field here. They brought their fine leg up. They saw this square deep, so the 2 men back out here, fine leg. Sorry, third man and deep square. Ring field beyond that.
De Lange's in, bowls, and that's pulled through the leg side. Will it go for 4? No, it's a superb stop on the boundary by Billy Roots, hurling himself round the ropes at square leg and saving a couple of runs.
Brilliant work from Billy Root there. Got round quickly, struck that pretty well, did Will Jacks. Knocked the ball inside the rope, and they get back for 2. Billy Root, of course, likes the look of Surrey. He's taken 100 off them already this season in the Royal London One Day Cup. Terrific innings from him.
26 for 1. De Lange bowls, flayed through the offside by Jacks. 4 runs once it had beaten the infield. Zaman can do no more than trot after it, and Surrey race up to 30 for 1 in this 4th over. This is ferocious stuff, Mike.
Yeah, it is. It's a very rare full delivery from de Lange there. I'm not sure if he tried to roll his fingers over it and try and take a pace off it, but it ended up being a very full half volley and comfortably struck away through the covers of 4.
Here comes de Lange again, bowls, and that's again driven, but not as timed to the green-booted Zaman. A left hand in the field, as well as with the bat. Got in from Pakistan yesterday morning. Down to Sapphire Gardens for a quick nets yesterday afternoon, meeting up with his teammates presumably this morning. Who are you? Oh yeah, he'll do. He took 100 off England in that one-day series before the World Cup. De Lange bowls, that's straight driven down the ground. That's ferociously hit for 4 more by Will Jacks, who's really tucking into de Lange at the moment. 34 for 1.
Yeah, I think he's rolled his things over that again. I think he's tried another slow ball, but they're not coming out how he'd wish. They're just a little bit too full, and batsmen just leaning on these, whether it's through the covers or straight drive, both ending up on the boundary. 11
off this over already, as de Lange is in to bowl to Jacks, who'll get 4 more down to fine leg, as de Lange gives it the double teapot in mid-wicket. Flick just fine of fine leg, no protection at all, and 15 runs off that de Lange over, and Surrey are 38 for 1 after 4.
Yeah, Captain Cook just having a chat with de Lange there. He's walking back to his position in the field, possibly change of bowling up that end. Graham Waggs have had a word with Cook as he went past. We might see a change of bowling from de Lange's end.
You talking about Fakar there coming and turning up. Wahab Riaz did a weekend with Surrey in the T20. It's extraordinary. He arrived on the Friday morning, played the Friday night, played the Saturday, and then flew back. So he literally had a weekend with Surrey. Douthwaite's coming into the 5th over from the Vauxhall end, and this is tucked away by Aaron Finch out towards deep backward square, and they'll pick up a single. Nicely played by Aaron Finch. He moves on to 14, 39 for 1. Jacks has faced 9 balls now for his 20, 3 fours and 1 6. And it looks as if Aaron Finch is just quite happy to get Will Jacks onto strike at the moment. Just let him play his way. He is an exciting prospect, this one. He really is. As Douthwaite's in, over the wicket to him, and he's turning leg side. He'll pick up a single. 1 more to Jacks. He moves on to 21, 40 for 1. But I don't know about you, Mr. Webb, but there are times, Mike, in this job where you gear yourself up to do interviews, or you go to do an interview before a game, and you see someone and you think, hang on, when did they turn up? And it is literally like, when did they sign? But, oh, right, lovely, great. How long are you here for? Oh, a weekend, lovely. Some lovely parts of London. As Douthwaite's in over the wicket to Finch, and Finch is jumping across those stumps again. It's good stuff, this from Douthwaite. Not giving them any width whatsoever as the throw comes in from deep mid-wicket. 1 more to Finch.
Conversely, I remember when Jason Gillespie signed for Glamorgan, and they said, oh, come down and meet him. He just virtually got off the plane into Cardiff. Right, do an interview with this bloke he's never met before. And he talked away for about 15, 20 minutes. He was happy to carry on talking. I had to say, look, Jason, I've got to go. Sorry, nice to meet you.
Over the wicket comes Douthwaite again. Oh, now Jacks.
Here we go.
Toe end of the bat, high in the air. He'll get away with it over the top of Hogan, running back from mid-off. And took some pace off that. Threw it a bit early was Will Jacks. In the end, he's played this one-handed and has got a fair amount of bat on this. I thought it was just going straight up, but yeah.
It looks like he slid either back of the hand or definitely rolling his fingers over, taking the pace off. He was onto the ball a little bit early, chipping the ball over the infield. But that's one of the perks of coming in early and batting. The field's going to be up, no one's going to be back on the rope to catch you.
Power play for the first 6, of course. Is that short, that 6?
Oh,
don't even bother looking for
shot.
that. He's taken that off the front foot, has Will Jacks, and just swung it 10 rows back into the OCS stand. And if they caught that, that's a grand.
I think there was a few oohs, so I suspect that one probably went down. Is it still grab a grand?
It's grab a grand.
Douthwaite be frustrated with himself. It's a very short delivery, wide, outside off stamp. It gives you plenty of time to get your arms out early, and he's hit that probably 20 yards in front of square, probably 20 yards over the boundary. Very nice shot.
Good strike.
Which brings a change in the field. We're bringing 3rd man up, and Hogan's taking himself back to long off. So deep square, long off, the 2 fielders out at the moment.
Douthwaite's in to Jacks. Got a shorter, slower ball outside the off stump, and Jacks looking to cut it out towards cover. It goes. Wag does the fielding, but again, not a bad over for Surrey. 5 gone, and Surrey ticking along. 11 off that over. 49 for 1. But yeah, good. That's a good bit of bowling. Actually, seeing that from Douthwaite again.
Yep.
Just rolled the fingers across. I think on here, I said it earlier with Delanger, but I think that's going to be the way to go, because it's a bit quicker than it was on Tuesday night.
Whether it's that rain that's come down, which has made it a little bit more skiddy, possibly. Here we are, Ingram, captain, making a change as we expected. Hogan's coming on. Hogan just gives it. Not as quick as he once was when he first signed the Glow. How old is Hogan now?
Hogan's 38
No,
now.
not a young man in the fast bowling department, but he's got so much skill, so much control, and that's what he brings to this team.
Terrific cricketer, Michael Hogan.
So Hogan it is then from the pavilion end. Still a little bit of sunshine into the faces of those up that end of the ground. Still the floodlights on, completely unnecessarily. Still a bit of dark sky around as well. Hogan is in to bowl to Finch, who leg glances, but will just get the single there because there's a tumbling stop by Douthwaite at short fine leg. This the last of the power play. You looking worried about that weather, Mike Powell?
No, I'm just pointing out that they've got a long on.
All right, sorry, I thought you pointed a bit higher than that.
Which is quite a strange field. So you've got a long on and a deep square of his two fields are out in the power play. So everyone on the offside is within the inner ring.
The other thing here, from a Jack's point of view, is the shortest boundary is off towards long off.
Yep.
50 for 1 in the 6th. Hogan bowls and Jacks plays it up towards mid-on. They go through for a single. 51 for 1.
Sorry, Nick. So it's quite an awkward area he's been asked to bowl in here, so slightly back of a length, but not too short that he can be pulled. But if he does, he's got a man back there. But you want it straight enough, so you're not going to get hit on the offside, but not too much down leg side, because you've got the man up at 45. Very tough field to bowl at.
Hogan in, bowls straight driven along the ground by Finch, up to long on, single taken, 52 for 1. Seems a little bit strange that we're talking mostly about Will Jacks rather than Aaron Finch at the moment.
Well, that's from a Finch point of view, that's perfect. He can just let Will Jacks go and sit there at the non-strikers end, pick up his singles. He'll go at some point. He'll put his foot down at some point.
In comes Hogan again and bowls. That's clipped away down towards backward square. It's a chase on, but it'll be won by Billy Root. They'll come back though for a couple of runs, moving Jacks onto 32 not out, and the total under 54 for 1 here in the 6th over.
The other thing is we're virtually using the whole ground here.
Yeah.
So some of the, you'll remember these, some of the games against Glamorgan have been over towards the gasometer side of the ground. Very short boundary, big square of the wicket today.
Hogan bowls, and that's lobbed up towards mid-wicket. Doesn't carry, but it's a dot ball. Jack's not really managing to place that one correctly. David Lloyd with the fielding. Oh, I mentioned the gasometer reminds me of that Ali Brown innings at 250 whatever it was.
Reminds you I was standing in the cover when that was going on.
Hogan bowls, full driven, but straight to Zaman at cover.
That's
no
a good
run.
over. That's a very good over.
54 for 1, just the 5 runs off it, Mike.
Brilliant. We talked about the 2 fields he had out in the deep there, the long on. He got hit to long on just for the single. He got hit the deep square, which the man was out there as well. Luckily, he got away with that drive. The last ball of the over got hit to the man at cover. Perfect, Glamorgan, straight to the man. No runs conceded.
Sun's out now. So hopefully this will stick around. It's been the hottest day of the year.
We'd have no idea about this, though, would we?
Not,
in a nice air-conditioned box.
I know, it's lovely in here.
Right over the top.
Well, I was genuinely told when I got the underground today by a gentleman of the underground, said we're putting out this warning today because it's very, very hot. Don't travel unless it's necessary and don't go outside. I was like,
it's a bit late
now.
By the time you've got to a tube
about
station.
the underground. So yeah, that was a good bit of warning for me today.
It was pretty sweaty on the underground.
It was. Now here he is, Graham Wagg, one of my favourite cricketers.
In your face.
Into the attack. I'll always remember that double 100 at Guildford, where he almost leapt the pavilion in celebration. Had to get him out the car park. He's a hell of a good cricketer, is Graham Wagg. He really is.
I tell you why he's good, because he offers in three departments. You know, he'll bowl, like you say, he'll score the runs, and in the field he's got so much energy and he's so quick.
And he'll make something happen as well.
Yeah.
That's something's always happening. So 5 men out, and he's coming left arm over the wicket to start the 7th over to Aaron Finch, and Finch is just punching this out towards the sweeper on the cover rope. And as I say, because Will Jacks has gone 32 now, and how many balls has Will Jacks faced? 32 from 17 balls. Finch is just ticking along, 17 from 13 balls. Doesn't really need to do anything at the moment, Aaron Finch.
But as far as Finch is concerned, this is great.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
he'll just sit back and watch.
Over the wicket comes Wagg, slower one and turned, leg side by Will Jacks down towards long on. He'll pick up another single. Well, Will Jacks, one more to him, one more to the total. Just knocking it around at the moment. Oh dear, we've got what on earth is that? It's a hawk. That's not a pigeon. I was about to say that's a pigeon. That looks like a hawk or something. Has flown into the Kia Oval. It's either that or a massive magpie.
He hasn't left.
He's going round the... I think that's a hawk of some description. How exciting. As he comes Wagg. Tonight, what next? As he's pushed off the back foot by Aaron Finch. And if that was it, it wasn't as spectacular as I thought as it just flew in front of the commentary box window.
Got jolly excited about it.
It was a sparrow. One more to the total. And one more to Aaron Finch.
One other game today, by the way, in the South Group, in which Gloucestershire beat Middlesex by 2 wickets at Cheltenham. Middlesex play Glamorgan tomorrow night in Cardiff.
Over the wicket once again goes Wagg. Good over so far, driven by Jacks. So singles off each delivery, but that'll do as the throw comes in. One bounce over the top of the stumps. Rose's match as well tonight. Lancashire and Yorkshire. Lancashire 71 for 2 in the 9th over. And if anybody's interested, the Hick 12 beat the Haddon 12 at the Ageas Bowl by 5 wickets. As Wag, left arm over the wicket, he comes to Finch. Here he goes. Here goes Aaron Finch. Hasn't got all of this, but he'll still get 6. Over the leg side, he's such a strong man. Oh, catch taken. That's a grand. Well done, sir. In your linen shirt. You've done very well there, my friend. Good catch. You've made lots of new friends as well. But Aaron Finch hasn't actually got hold of that, but he's so strong.
Yeah, he's just flicked it out. You could almost see that Graham White sort of bolts at the back of the hand, so a slower delivery. He's noticed that halfway down and gone, right, rather than just push it for 1, I'm going to follow through here and borderline chip it for 6.
Absolutely. It's more of a pitching wedge that than anything. It's so strong. As Wag is over the wicket and Finch drives this time. And we'll pick up another single and 1 more to the total, and the 50 partnership as well came up with that 6, so 52 the partnership is worth. 7 overs gone, 64 for 1. I suppose, Mike, that the one concern for Ingram will be the fact that you're 7 overs in and Finch is still there on 25 and has just launched one, but he's been pretty conservative so far.
Yeah, you just feel that Finch hasn't got out of 3rd gear yet, so he's just let Jax do what he wants, and almost, not his runs are a bonus because he's there to do a job, but in the back of your mind, Ingram will be thinking, right, what has Finch got up his sleeve here? He's just getting his eye in.
The thing with Aaron Finch as well is, he gets that one, he's got his eye in now, he's slotted that one, didn't really get hold of it, and sort of he gets into that mood where, especially in 2020, hits one, and then all of a sudden, he'll just start launching balls left, right and centre.
Releases the handbrake.
Ridiculous.
In that Australian trial match, by the way, Cameron Bancroft made the top score of the match with 93 not out.
He's thrown himself right in the mix then.
Mitch Marsh was out for 23, but he did get a 5-wicket haul, the Glamorgan signing. So Glamorgan will be hoping that he's not in the Ashes tour squad. 65 for 1. Hogan is in to bowl to Finch, who plays it gently up towards long on, runs the first one, hard turn, they look, but Fakar's throw comes skimming in and they have to settle for a single.
Fakar's got great boots, hasn't he?
It's a lime green he's got with him.
Yeah.
Are they these ones from Pakistan, I would have thought? It's his one-day outfit, but you can spot him from a mile away. It's lighting up. They're in front of the pavilion.
Here comes Hogan in to bowl to Jax, who's beaten outside off stump. Through it goes to Chris Cook. A rare occasion of ball beating bat here at the Oval this evening. And Glamorgan waiting to find out who the Aussies have picked for their tour squads, whether who will be available for the rest of the competition after this week.
I think it's midday tomorrow, is that right? Their squad's been announced?
Yeah, hopefully. So will Mitch Marsh be available for his 10-game contract, or if not, will Marnus Labuschagne be available? As Hogan bowls, and that's worked on the leg side gently by Jax. They'll again look for 2, but again they won't get it as Wag comes pelting in off the mid-wicket boundary. 67 for 1.
You're right. Zaman was obviously off the plane, when was it?
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday, and he's shipped straight into London. 25,000 people thinking, this is all right this time.
Yeah, no, they like this.
He's played on big stages before as Fakar, as Hogan bowls a slower full toss outside off stump, and Finch drives it up to long off for a single. Hogan looked rather disappointed with that ball, as if he didn't mean to bowl a slower ball.
I think he's got away with it.
It's still just a single anyway. It's a big floaty full toss.
I think he's just disappointed.
68 for 1 as Hogan runs towards us in the yellow and blue of Glamorgan, and that's driven over extra cover for 4 runs by Will Jax. Up and over, David Lloyd didn't have a chance, neither did long off. 72 for 1.
I tell you what, that was such an impressive shot that Jax, Hogan bowled that ball probably middle and off, looking at it, and Jax has actually played that inside out over cover, because you know that where the gap is. If he played that straight where the ball was actually bowled, he just would have got a single for it.
Jack's under 39. Hogan in to bowl for the Surrey youngster, who drives it back down the ground under the feet of Finch, and will take a single up to Fakar at long on. And that is the end of Michael Hogan's over. 73 for 1 then after 8 overs. And I guess Surrey will be reasonably satisfied, Mike, with the score on the board, but even more satisfied with the wickets column.
I think that's where they hold trump card at the moment. They just lost the 1 wicket so far, 8 overs, gone 73 on the board. An average first innings score here is 182, I've been told. So they're in a reasonable position at the moment, especially these two and how well these two with Jacks and Finch are playing at the moment. They're in a position to the launch.
The other thing is, I think Surrey are aware that they're a bit short of batting in the T20 this season, so they've got to do it up top. Sort of your top 4 have got to
basically
do the
got four all-rounders in that middle order, haven't you, from 5 to 8, all of whom can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I said to you both, I'd be tempted to bump Jordan Clark up the order tonight. He's batted really well in the 2 games, but has had to come in when the overs were running out. As Graham Wagg to bowl our 9th over. He's into Jacks, who drives, and it is a good stop at backward point. A bit of desperation there, flinging himself to his left, and there's
Lloyd
no run. Very good bit of work, flinging himself away to his left-hand side, and there's no run. But yeah, I think they've got a platform for the first time in the competition this season. Surrey, as Wagg with his towel hanging out the back of his trousers is in, swing and a miss from Will Jacks. Has really gone after this, trying to again launch it into the Harleford Road and the Bumblebees. Head came up, and now he just rehearses playing a bit straighter than that. But if you watch this again on the live stream, he's almost taken himself off his feet. He's almost turned himself inside out there.
Yeah, he stepped slightly over to off stump and trying to manufacture over to the shortish boundary to the leg side.
It's one of those where, if you're an old man like me, you'd be stretched off afterwards. As in comes Wagg again, slow one down the leg side. Oh, they're going for a strangle. They've got it. Caught down the leg side, Will Jacks. It's that man Wagg who makes things happen. Not the greatest delivery you'll ever see, but he's got Will Jacks caught down the leg side. Jack goes for 40, and Surrey are 73 for 2.
It's interesting, he's tried to flick that for 4 on the leg side. So rather than if he just tried to play it gently and go for the 1, he would have just got enough bat on it because the 45 was up. He would have had 4 runs for it, but he's obviously important. They're not as important as in 2020. So yeah, you haven't got the control, and you're going so hard that you can't slow yourself down just to get that control over it. They go back to Rampakash. It's brilliant at it. Just that touch. Where a slightly different player coming through now, where the money is if you can hit the crowd.
Exactly. That's where, especially in this form of the game.
Yeah.
As long as you can lump it into the crowd, that's what everybody's here for. It's Ollie Pope out there in the middle. Made his comeback from injury on Tuesday night. Dislocated shoulder. And not only made his comeback from injury on Tuesday night from a dislocated shoulder, but kept wicket as well, which is exactly what he'll be doing this evening. 47 from 31 balls against Middlesex for the right-handed Pope, and he's cutting at his first one from Wagg, and it goes past the edge, and Ollie Pope is all action. He is a terrific player, is Ollie Pope, but that one just going across him.
Undercooked, so they've got away with it. Glamorgan needed that. They needed someone out. Graham Wagg produced that, strangled down leg side. Now they've got an undercooked Pope facing them. How many balls gone so far? 4. We've had 4 dot balls so far.
Wagg is in, and Pope will get his first run as he tucks this one down towards long on, and they'll pick up a single as DeLanger does the fielding down there. Strong arm from DeLanger, not the best of throws, but he's a strong man, Mr. DeLanger.
Ex-javelin thrower in his youth.
It.
Cricket ball to nothing after chucking a javelin.
Interest what Finch does now. So there's 1 ball left in the over. Does he go, right, we need to get something from it, so right, we'll just take our dues. We'll just take 1 from it, or maybe another single.
Does he gamble? No, he's just going to take his single. He just pushes off the bat foot. He's here for the duration, I think, Mr. Finch. And he'll pick up a single, 1 more to the total.
I think if a Surrey at full strength, he would have played that completely differently. I think in the back of mind he's thinking, right, if I go,
absolutely,
we could be really up against it.
Good over from Graham Wagg.
Very good over.
2 off it and the wicket of Will Jacks. 9 gone. Surrey stuck in by Glamorgan. Here on the BBC Sport website, the BBC app, online. 75 for 2 then, Surrey, after 9.
Across London, of course, dramatic events in the Test match. England finished at 303 for 9, but a lead of 181 runs over Ireland with the last pair of Broad and Stone together. Could be a decent day that tomorrow, Mike, with the Irish chasing probably just under 200.
What do you reckon? I was listening on the way down. I was listening on the radio on the way down, and they were talking about possibly anything above 180 might be a stretch too far. But 180, what is 180 is two boys getting 60,
Yeah, absolutely.
which isn't a huge ask, and everyone else chipping in and around you there, aren't you? And that'll be a huge historic day for Irish cricket to turn over England at the home of cricket.
Unbelievable. I think one of the key things is going to be how long the last two stick around for tomorrow morning. If they knock them over quick, they've then got 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's a nice position to find yourself in.
Here comes Colin Ingram for the first time, and Salter, his first ball is hit out towards mid-wicket, and
what
is
a
it
catch.
caught? It is!
What
It's
a catch.
brilliantly caught on the mid-wicket boundary. The fielder out there, Billy Root, just lobbing it back infield as he went over the ropes. And that, a quite incredible bit of fielding, has earned Glamorgan their 3rd wicket, and off trudges Aaron Finch for 28.
Aaron Finch there, so swept slog. Salter's first ball is probably going for the longest part of the ground here, and Billy Root caught the ball. He could see the rope. He almost had time just to throw it up in the air, gather himself, get back inside the rope and catch it again. What a catch.
The other thing about that is that was up there for hours, and he's done so well there, Billy Root. He really has, because he had enough time to think about it, think where are my feet, and then take the catch. Knew he was going over the rope, flicked it up and came back. Brilliant, absolutely. Now it all changes. Jacks has gone, Finch has gone. 2 fresh batsmen at the crease, Ricky Clark.
And this really highlights where how many players Surrey are missing. You got Ricky Clark, due respect to the great man, a good friend of mine, but definitely not someone you want coming in at number 5. Ideally, in a really good team, he'd be coming in 8.
Yes.
In comes Salter to bowl, and driven down the ground by Pope for a single. 76 for 3 are Surrey in this 10th over, having been put in to bat by Glamorgan. And talk about fine margins, Root was probably, an inch or 2 off the ground by the time he got rid of that one, lobbed it back infield, stepped back over the rope. Salter to Ricky Clark, who tries the reverse first ball. There's an appeal for a caught at the wicket, and it's not given.
What Surrey have to be very careful of here is that they don't just completely fall apart, because that's what's happened in the other games.
As Salter bowls, and Clark back on his stumps, flicking short mid-wicket. Could be close to a run out, but the throw misses from Colin Ingram, and he's overrun the wicket as Clark's not able to take advantage of the overthrows. But I think a hit there, and Clark would have been out.
Yeah, Ricky Clark just working it to mid-wicket there. Colin Ingram dashing round to his right-hand side. A slide, pick up and throw all in one movement. Ricky Clark would have been short of his ground.
So Clark survives and gets off the mark as Salter bowls. Down the wicket comes Pope, but plays it all along the ground up towards mid-wicket. Root with the fielding, this time rather more genteel affair than his spectacular early in the over. 78 for 3 here on BBC Sport Online and on the Surrey Cricket website. Clark back on strike, Ricky Clark, Jordan Clark to come, along with Liam Plunkett, Tom Curran, as that's driven straight back to him. It's caught bowled. Ricky Clark goes for just 1. His run out let off does not allow him to profit, and he just chipped that one back ever so gently to Andrew Salter, who has 2 in the over. 78 for 4, and that is a big turnaround in the match as the 10th over comes to an end, Mike Powell.
Yeah, Ricky Clark just trying to work that to the leg side, slightly straighter than before. Probably put off by Ingram's fielding, they'll be working it to the more the mid-wicket leg side position. He's trying to hit that through long on, and all he did was chip it straight back to Andrew Salter, the willing Andrew Salter, to take another wicket down. Surrey 78 for 4.
Amazing turnaround this, because with Jackson Finch, we were saying set the platform. Jacks goes for 40. That's 73 for 2. Finch then a brilliant catch from Billy Root. The other thing about that catch from Billy Root is he would have known it was the key man. the gun man from a Surrey point of view, and it was up there so long. He had plenty of time, as I say, to think about it. Brilliant catch from him. And then Ricky Clark, that's 0-9-1 now for Ricky Clark in the competition this season, so just hasn't got going at all. And well, Tom Curran has been in pretty good nick with the bat. He's out there, and Owen Morgan, who bowled our first over, is going to bowl our 11th over. Good stuff this from Glamorgan. They've seized their opportunity. What they'll want to do now is completely shut it down. Ollie Pope on 3. Morgan, left arm round the wicket he comes to Pope, who drives into the offside, and there's no run. And the other thing here from a sort of Pope-Tom Curran is there's that whole risk-reward thing as well. They can't afford to take too many risks at the moment, but they've got to keep that scoreboard ticking. Reverse sweep, well played from Ollie Pope. Behind square, and they'll pick up a couple here. Salter it is who comes round to do the fielding. 2 more to Ollie Pope. He moves on to 580 for 4, Surrey. Very, very good stuff from Glamorgan.
Interesting that Finch only actually faced 20 balls, even though he was out in the 10th over.
Around the wicket once again goes Morgan. That's very short and cut by Ollie Pope to the sweeper. The protection out there on the cover boundary. Well, we were saying, weren't we, that with Finch, with Jacks going well, Finch was quite happy just to sit back. But then Jacks goes, Finch goes straight afterwards, and the entire game plan just changes.
You got, relatively 2 new batsmen in now. Curran obviously on not faced the ball here. You got Pope on 6. You got 2 spinners working either end. Glamorgan will rush through the overs as quick as they can now.
As Tom Curran's first ball, he pushes straight back up the pitch to Morgan, and there's no run.
Glamorgan's mindset now would just be every dot ball or even every single, they're winning the game here. So Surrey need to go at 10 and over to get up to something that looks like a par score.
Morgan is in and turned by Tom Curran down towards long on. They'll take the single. Tom Curran made 31 on Tuesday night against Middlesex, 82 for 4. Well, that's the other thing, Mike, isn't it, with the spinners? As you say, just whip through the overs. Yeah. Suddenly you look up and think, oh, God, we've only got 6 to go.
40
where did they all go?
Yeah.
As Morgan, left arm round the wicket he comes. That's a full toss. Ollie Pope using his feet, whips it leg side. I think about 2, but it's a good pick up from Hogan and gets the throw away very quickly. And also from a Morgan point of view, it's quite a good time to slip your overs in now, because these 2 are going to be cautious. End of the over, good one from Morgan. 11 gone, just 5 off that over. Surrey with a bit of a job on their hands here at 83 for 4. Crowd loving it. And as I say, full house again tonight, complete sellout, and everybody, I think, having a good time. The Bumblebees are anyway. That's a massive stag do, if that is a stag do.
I mean, that's 30 to 40, I'd imagine.
I want to be in charge of that.
Popular chap.
Ooh,
in comes Salter again, bowls, and Pope down the wicket, just glances it out towards the square leg umpire. There's a sliding stop by Morgan. They thought about a second run, but in the end went back. It's a decent piece of pursuit from Owen Morgan, round from fine leg to square leg.
I always find if you're in charge of a stag do, everybody who comes on the stag do loses all sense of reality and common sense and think you know the answer to everything.
Salter bowls, and that's flayed straight to cover, and Tom Curran has gone for a single, stepping back, trying to force through the offside, but in the end just punched a reasonably simple catch. It was taken on the dive by David Lloyd, but it's one neatly pouched, but you'd expect to at this level, and Surrey are 5 down for 84 in the 12th.
Yeah, interesting shot that. It wasn't as wide as we wanted. He wanted a little bit wider so he could hit it to the right-hand side of Lloyd there at cover, but he ended up being a bit strange, tried to manufacture and give himself a bit of room, and all he ended up in doing was chipping the ball to Lloyd there at cover, who dived for the catch. Probably could have just stood there and caught it slightly to his left-hand side, but hey, cameras are on.
Absolutely, why not put the dive in as well?
Salter 3 for 4.
He's done all right, it's over, hasn't he? In his second over.
And he hasn't done much in the Glamorgan first team this season. Only played 1 championship game. Didn't get picked in the one-day cup.
I was out with him the other day, and we used to go out on the motorbikes together.
All right.
And I was Salter, any chance you playing some cricket this year?
He must be a bit of a frustrated boy, I imagine. Not asking you to give any secrets away, but I'm sure he's loving this.
Well, Surrey are 11 for 4. That's 11 for 4 now for Surrey. And 3 overs.
So falling away badly after that flying start, as that's pushed back down the wicket by Jordan Clark, and there is no run.
Yeah, but I don't know, but if you're in charge of a stag do, everybody completely doesn't, I don't know, they leave everything at home.
Salter to Jordan Clark, driven back down the wickets and thrown back to keeper Cook, because Jordan Clark was wandering out of his crease, and Salter thought he might add a run out to his... he's not worrying about the stag do at all. 84 for 5, as that's a single through the offside for Jordan Clark to get off the mark. 85 for 5 here on BBC Sport Online.
I do love a stag.
Oh, absolutely.
Love a stag do.
But never be in charge of them. It's a nightmare.
No.
Because I guarantee who's ever in charge of that one.
Oh.
Where are the toilets? Where do I get a beer? Oh, my shoelace is undone. How do I do this up?
Salter bowls driven through the offside. Might be a couple of runs here for Ollie Pope. They will come back for a second. Throw comes into Salter at the bowler's end, but he can't gather it cleanly. I think Jordan Clark was there anyway, the big all-rounder. So a couple of runs for Surrey to finish off the over. 87 for 5 though after 12, just 5 runs off the Salter over.
I used to have the same. I roomed with Mark Wallace the best part of 13 years. I had the same problem with him. Same thing.
Yeah.
Where's our room? Where we staying? What time we leave?
Do I need a hat?
Oh, Wally,
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
This man's now in charge of Glamorgan
well,
cricket.
there you are. Yes,
You
what
don't
a legend.
fill us with confidence.
Came out with
I've trained him well.
came out with one of the great lines I've ever heard on commentary last year about when Adrian Dale, he got called into his first game, and Adrian Dale, he said they were down in Kent and he went out the night before the game.
Yep.
And his first class career was brought to an end by a dodgy chicken booner in Maidstone. As
right.
forward goes Jordan Clark and pushes this first ball of a new over out to extra cover
Adrian
from Morgan.
Adrian Shaw.
Sorry, not Adrian
Chelsea.
Dale. Adrian
Yeah.
Shaw. Sorry, yes.
Shaw
Adrian
was the wicket keeper. Who's one of the second 11 coaches now.
Absolutely. Yeah. First class career brought to an end by dodgy chicken booner in Maidstone. As round the wicket once again then is Morgan. This is turned by Pope out towards deep mid wicket. And they'll pick up another single as the throw comes in, one bounce over the top of the stumps.
230 championship matches later, Mark Wallace's spell of matches came to an end.
Absolutely.
Thanks to torn hamstring at Northampton.
What a record. As round the wicket again. Morgan short ball, and Jordan Clark's going to slap this through the offside. Goes straight down into the turf and up again. And Ingram does the fielding, and there's no run.
I think Andrew Simons was the overseas for. That's how far back that was.
Overseas for everybody, isn't he? Goes round the wicket once again.
Oh.
Goes Morgan inside out driving is Jordan Clark, thickish outside edge, runs out towards the sweeper on the cover rope. Salter does the fielding as the throw comes in, one bounce over the top of the stumps, 2 more. And or maybe it's a stag and a hen do, because Adam, who's behind us doing the old live streaming, saying there are some ladies in amongst the bumblebees. As using his feet is Jordan Clark, and then just pushes it out into the offside. Nicely bowled from Morgan, that.
Women on a stag do.
There we are.
Not in my
day. They are on the live stream. I'm not sure they're all wearing wings. I think it looks like the hen do are, but the stags they were just in the t-shirts. As backing away and cutting is Ollie Pope out there towards extra cover, and there is no run. End of the over, 92 for 5. So another tidy over, and again the spinners here, Morgan and Salter absolutely squeezing Surrey through these middle overs. 13 gone, 7 left, and Surrey 92 for 5.
Mark Church available for commentary on social occasions everywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
All I would say is, if when you're leaving the ground tonight you do find a pair of wings on the pavement, then you'll know who they belong to. They're part of that stag or hen do away to our right.
Well, Surrey could do with some wings on this innings, because it's fluttering round in circles and in danger of crashing to earth at the moment, to labour the metaphor slightly. And Andrew Salter will continue from the pavilion end and tucks Clark up a bit, and they'll take a single on the leg side. 93 for 5.
Well, the 5 overs before this one between Salter and Morgan, it's 3 for 24. I know that Salter's taken the 3 wickets, but you'd settle for that in these middle overs.
Salter in, bowls, worked away on the leg side. Pope's looking for two here out to mid-wicket. The bowler fields himself, but in comes Root off the boundary to prevent the second run being taken. Oh, spin twins. It's like watching Croft and Kosker back in the day, Mike Powell.
Yeah. It's interesting that like you say, we are playing in the middle of the ground here, and even though we caught Finch on the boundary, they're just hovering sort of 10-15 yards in off the rope there, so there's a fine balance.
Driven down the ground, that could be 4 runs. No, it's brilliantly saved up at long on. Faka completes the fielding that Wag threw himself full length, and they'll have to settle for 2.
So for long on and long off working together there, Graham Wag never wanted to stop that ball to pick up himself. He parried it to his teammate there for him to throw the ball in. It's great work.
96 for 5. Jordan Clark on to 8 as he plays that one through leg side. They're running really aggressively at the moment. This time they will turn for 2, and they've caused the misfield as well, so they're safely back for the second run. 98 for 5.
Yeah, good pressure there. Jordan Clark haired the first one. Pope's quick as well. He's a very, very aggressive all-action cricketer, is Jordan Clark.
As in comes Salter to bowl, and this one is played up towards mid-on. The bowler's fielding himself again. They'll turn and look for the second, but not this time. Salter fields about 25 metres away from the stumps. 99 for 5.
You talk about Crofty and Kosker. I don't think Crofty would have fielded. due respect to the great man.
99 for 5. Jordan Clark, the man who did Glamorgan in a T20 match for Lancashire. Reverse sweep comes out. Hogan back, takes the catch as Pope will have to continue his walk towards the pavilion. Andrew Salter has a 4th wicket. 99 for 6. Ollie Pope has gone for 12 as he just top edged a reverse sweep down to 3rd man, and when the tallest players on the Glamorgan side, Michael Hogan, clutched it above his head.
Yeah, Hogan man just back on the 45 on the inner circle there. Just got a top edge, unfortunately, for Pope there, which ends his innings of 12. Surrey sort of limping along at the moment. 14 overs gone, 99 on the board, 6 wickets down.
I'll tell you what, this is going to kill Surrey. 3 overs for Salter, 4 for 14, and Morgan 3 overs, none for 70. So 31, 6 overs between the two of them, 4 for 31 between the two spinners. Absolutely brilliant from these two.
And we go back to 182, first innings average score, not winning score, average score.
Well, actually, from that moment, as I was saying, when Jacks was caught behind, that was 73 for 1 in the 9th, and they've now gone to 99 for 6 in the 14th, or after 14. And Liam Plunkett is out there. And the other thing for Jordan Clark is there are only 6 overs left. Morgan it will be, left arm round the wicket to Jordan Clark, who drives out towards the sweeper on the cover rope. They'll just take the single. 1 more to the total. And that's the 100 up for Surrey. So the 100 coming up in the 15th over for Surrey. And Liam Plunkett out there in the middle can hit a very long ball. He's a good player, Liam Plunkett, but he hasn't got too long here to really get himself in. And that wickets column for Surrey, it was only a few overs ago we were saying it was looking good at 1, as driven by Plunkett straight out towards extra cover, and there's no runners. Ingram does the fielding, but now 6 down in the 15th over. Morgan's in again. This is turned leg side by Plunkett, and they'll pick up a single. Morgan's going to end up with very tidy figures here. Bowled off first over of the game, of course, but it's really been with Salter in these middle overs that they've done some serious damage to this Surrey total. Whatever it's going to be. Is here is Jordan Clark. Oh, and looking to cut. Saw him coming down the pitch, fizzed it in there just for a second. I thought he might get stranded as well. Stumped.
Wide given.
Wide given, was it? I didn't think he was going to there. Well spotted, Mr. Webb. As forward goes Jordan Clark, pushes this one out into the offside, and they'll pick up a single. I think that's a bit harsh. I think he sees the batsman coming, fizzes it in a little bit wider. Anyway, given 103 for 6. As Morgan looking to finish off this excellent spell Into Plunkett. He's playing this off the back foot. Skipped onto him. He's got to get his skates on to the bowler's end. The throw from the skipper as he takes the glove off. But it's good backing up from Wag, who's everywhere. He's down below us now. 104 for 6.
Yeah, what they'll do with Graham Wag, you say he's a long off. He's a long off at, for both sides, for both bowlers. Sorry here. So, but your quickest field is a long on, long off.
Absolutely brilliant. As Morgan's in and Jordan Clark hauls this one down the ground, all along the carpet, down towards Hogan, and they'll pick up a single. Well bowled Owen Morgan. Terrific spell of bowling that. 105 for 6. Surrey. 5 overs remaining. But Owen Morgan bowled our first over, and those are very, very good looking figures from Owen Morgan. I think that's 4 overs, none for 22, but it's what you add in with Salter going from the other end as well.
Yeah, going back to my point there, you'll have Graham Wag. So what happens at the start of 2020? You have your best fielders, backward points, sort of cover maybe one at mid-wicket, because there you'll run out positions at the start of the innings, but then later on now you'll put your quick fielders out on the boundary riders.
Salter to finish off then, as his first ball is driven back to him. It's a dot ball, as Jordan Clark not managing to get that one away.
Apologies, Morgan 4 overs, no mains, none for 23, but 7 dots as well in there.
As Salter bowls, and that's driven through the leg side by Jordan Clark out towards mid-wicket. They'll turn, they'll come back for a second. In comes the throw, but Plunkett was charging home at the bowler's end, and it wasn't straight to Salter, so he couldn't whip the bails off.
The other thing is there's only been one boundary between the two of them.
Is that right?
Yep, Salter hasn't conceded a boundary as yet. Morgan only conceded 1.
Dramatic stuff here at the Oval. Have Surrey got the men here for a late charge in Clark and Plunkett. Clark drives up to long on, takes a single, 108 for 6. 2 big burly all-rounders. If these two can stay at the wicket, then there's a bit of ball striking capability there. The batting to come, Dernbach, Batty and Tahir, maybe not quite so much after these two. 108 for 6, Plunkett on strike. England hero as he drives back to the bowler on the bounce, and there's no run.
This is really impressive stuff from Salter.
Having career best figures. First time he's taken 4 in a T20 innings, as that's driven to mid-wicket, beautifully stopped, and again a dot ball. 108 for 6. Is that the captain there, Colin Ingram?
He's been brilliant in the field tonight.
Belying his 34 years as Salter bowls. He's given that one a bit of air. Is he going to clear long off? Yes, he is. The leap of Faka was in vain. And Liam Plunkett pummels a 6 off Andrew Salter's final delivery. He's so close to a 5-foot, but away it went for 6. Plunkett to 8, 114 for 6.
Well bowled, Andrew Salter. 23 from 4 overs, 4 wickets, and that 6 was the only boundary that he's had off his 4 overs.
Could have been caught.
Oh, it could have been.
Bar a yard.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was straight down his throat for 1 minute, but those are absolute. Oh, hello. What's Graham Wag up to here? Oh, Wag.
What's he doing?
Wag and Plunkett. I think it's all fairly amicable in the end, but Ingram's laughing as well.
Oh, it's a fox.
Oh, is that what they're talking about?
Here we are.
Oh, yes.
It's a young one.
Oh, that we used to have an oval fox.
Graham Wag's chasing it.
What is Graham Wag doing?
Runs towards the fox.
It's an urban fox, Graham. It's not going to be scared of you. It sees people all the time.
I quite like this.
Yes. So now we've got the fox.
Graham Wag doesn't know what to do.
On the stream, on the live stream, there's the fox. Now Graham Wag now doesn't know what to do because the fox is doing its business on the outfield, right in front of Graham Wag. Graham Wag is an urban fox, Graham. They're used to you. Look, he's not going to run away.
They're not used to Graham Wag.
No, well, I don't know. This one is. He's having absolutely. It's no. So someone's going to have to come and coax the fox off the outfield now. It's a very tame fox. So Lee Fortis, the Surrey head groundsman, is making he's an intimidating figure. He's smart, but this fox is just not moving. It's right on the edge of the fielding circle. So there it is on the live stream. You can see it. Bless its heart. There it is. But now, is it someone's going to have to carry it off, I think. Graham Wagg's not willing to do that. I think it's looking for some help. So now Jordan Clark, whether he's a man of foxes. Oh dear, one of the stewards is sprinting on now, trying to get rid of the fox. Oh, well that's worked. So one of the stewards, who's obviously done that before, has sprinted on and off goes the fox. Down below us, under the covers he goes. I tell you what, Graham Wagg there, he tried everything, didn't he? Tried whistling, chatting to it, scaring it. But now and
its deposit has been removed as well. More importantly,
it was scared of Graham Wagg, so it left a present on the outfit. I did say to you what next, didn't I? We've had lightning, we've had rain, the fielding disc's not in the right place, and now we've had a fox come on, terrified by Graham Wagg, has left its business on the outfield, and now that's just been removed as well. So there we are. We'll get underway again in a minute.
We might get. Well, didn't you say you were here 11:15 the other night?
Yes, this could be another midnight finish.
We had a late
here at the
start.
Kia Oval tonight, due to wildlife, weather. I thought Graham Wagg did quite well there. I just looked up and saw Wagg and Plunkett chatting to each other, Ingram laughing, and then there was the fox. And Graham Wagg went sprinting over. But then, as I say, urban foxes, they're used to people. As you say, they might be used to Graham Wagg, but even that fox stuck around. Right, we're going to have cricket again in a minute, everybody. 4 overs remaining. And 114 for 6, Surrey. Jordan Clark is settling himself down over his bat. Graham Wagg is getting ready to, after trying to coax a fox off the outfield, getting ready to come in to bowl our 17th over from the Vauxhall end. Right-handed Jordan Clark waits as Wagg is left arm over the wicket too. That's very wide. That'll be signalled wide outside the off stump by umpire Debenham. And that'll be one more to the total. And
a couple of big blows from these two, Mike, and 160-ish will still be challenging, I think.
You're in the game, but you're light, aren't you, 160? I'm just saying, they're straddling there. I think that delay will hopefully, for Surrey, go in their favour and give them time just to have a bit of a whiff and reassess where they're at. But only 4 overs to go. They need to do something now.
Wagg is in and Clark cuts to backward point. They'll just take the single. Yeah, on a serious point with the old fox. From a Glamorgan perspective, I know it's all fun and everything, but they were whipping through the overs, and now all of a sudden the game's completely stopped.
Yeah.
And as you say, Mike, that's just given Surrey a chance to have a little chat about it. Both batsmen had a drink and a towel was brought out.
You know, it's warm out there. You know, it's still 34 degrees out there, and it's 8:15 at night, and just to get a couple of minutes, just to get your head together, can only be a good thing for the Surrey batsman.
Wagg's in, driving his Plunkett down the ground towards long off. Hogan comes up to do the fielding. Good start this from Wagg though. Hasn't let the fox put him off his stride. 117 for 6. Poor thing. He looked absolutely terrified, didn't it? Down there.
Not surprised looking at Waggy's ugly mug.
Well, it wasn't the fact that it's the way he ran over to it as well. It's like on Halloween when you're trying to scare someone coming out of a cupboard. In over the wicket comes Wagg, and this is turned straight back up the pitch, and Wagg does the fielding off his own bowling, and there's no run. Not that I'm saying that Graham Wagg does that for Halloween, tries to scare people by jumping out of a cupboard, but
well, however you like to spend Halloween,
exactly.
Mark.
But he sort of not as Graham Wagg. I don't often spend my Halloween dressed as Graham Wagg. I might now though, but yes, he sort of ran up to it, sort of trying to sort of coax it away, and it didn't work, did it? As Wagg is in. Left arm over the wicket once again to Jordan Clark, who drives, well bowled again from Graham Wagg, right up there. And he can't get underneath that, Jordan Clark, and he gets a single. One more to the total.
See, Ingram got his field here, all the inner fields inside that inner circle, all on the edge of that circle. Quite happy to give Surrey a single, knowing full well singles are not going to be enough.
Absolutely. Singles at the moment count double, really, in a way. From a Glamorgan point of view. It's the boundaries, they just shut boundaries down as this is slapped up the ground by Plunkett down towards long off. They'll want to. Hogan though, that one-handed pickup again, brilliant from Hogan. Throw hits the bat, Liam Plunkett, that's becoming very fashionable at the moment. 119 for 6.
Doesn't go for 4.
No, but Hogan's done that twice now, come whipping round, gone down one-handed and then got the throw away very quickly. I think Plunkett's broken his bat as well now. because that one didn't really go anywhere. So he's calling for another bat as Wag comes left arm over the wicket to Jordan Clark, and Clark slaps this one, throws the bottom hand into it. He's almost carved that away through the covers. Brilliant again. Salter out there sweeping on the cover boundary rope, slides, does the fielding, keeps it down to 2. Pretty good over again from Graham Wag. 17 gone. I
think that just sort of highlights Glamorgan's fielding tonight, how well they've done. I can't think of a misfield or a drop catch or anything that's gone against them. We've had, how many, one wide, no balls? No balls. And the other thing here is we've now had 11, 16, 20, 26, 36 dot balls as well, which is brilliant from Glamorgan. Very impressive in the field tonight.
Momentum, those wickets have really raised spirits, I guess, and they've thrown themselves around, haven't they? Brilliant boundary catch by Billy Root, taking it almost outside the arena, but crucially up in the air at the time, managed to lob it back inside for himself. And Glamorgan have whipped through 8 overs of spin from the 2 Welsh slow bowlers. And Colin Ingram has not used himself. He's turned back to Michael Hogan with 3 overs to come of this Surrey innings. 121 for 6 here on BBC Sport Online and on the Surrey website. What can Surrey manufacture in these 18 balls? A clip on the leg side from Plunkett will pick up 2 runs. They'll have to hurry for the second. Bale's come off, but big Liam Plunkett have flung himself home, almost taking out the wickets as he did so. 2 runs, 123 for 6.
Yeah, it's good commitment from Plunkett. Took a while to turn and then put the dive in as well. And got home pretty safely in the end. Again, that's become very fashionable lately, isn't it? Diving for your second run.
Got to be done. Matches depend on such small margins. World Cups do as well. Hogan is in to bowl to Plunkett, lobs that one up in the air and then goes through for a single. As it just... Oh, it's a no ball. It's a no ball on height. Yeah. I wondered whether that would be a roundabout.
As Hogan going over
he's
going over to say sorry to Plunkett.
I think it was
he immediately put his hand
higher
up.
Than I thought it was. It was chest high almost.
Caught him on the thumb there. Imagine how the physio did to get a bit of spray.
Yeah. Immediately Hogan put both hands up to say sorry to Liam Plunkett.
That's not one Surrey want when they're a few down already this week. Ben Folkes injured, Morny Mortal rested, and of course 3.
Is that a free hit?
On test, yeah, that'll be a free hit. Yeah.
Yeah, he almost punched it away in the end, didn't he? Did Liam Plunkett? But they're going to do a bit of running repairs on him at the moment. I don't think it's anything too serious, otherwise he wouldn't stay out there. But yeah, it was. It's not that bad.
It's the way Plunkett crouched very low to swing ball over, get it onto the leg side, and in his stance it looked a lot worse than what it actually was.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad at all.
Where were we? 99 for 6. This is just starting to get into something worthwhile for Surrey, Mike.
Yeah, I think it is. And how many balls have gone so far in this over?
2 balls.
2 balls gone so far.
One actually,
one
legitimate because that was called the no ball. So free hit. What can Surrey do with it? Jordan Clark is on strike because they took the single and it's on the legs, and they'll just get a leg by down to short fine leg. So Michael Hogan recovering well from his error. 127 for 6.
Smart bowling from Hogan, just slightly backward length, angled into the right-handed batsman, cramping him up for a bit of room. Very well bowled.
Who bowls the one spare over here? Because Wag's got one more. Hogan's got, would it be De Lange or
Possibly
De Lange with his pace.
With his pace against the lower order.
In over the wicket. Ooh.
Hogan in, bowls, slogged across the line by Plunkett out towards mid-wicket. This will just be a single, 128 for 6. Plunkett under 14, not out. Jordan Clark looking potentially dangerous. 21 not out.
I just wonder whether, if Clark's still there though, Jordan Clark, with a bit of pace on it.
Could take advantage. Hogan is in, bowls, that's cut down to short third man, single for Jordan Clark, 129 for 6 in this 18th over. Surrey having been 73 for 1 at one point in the 9th over, but then a clatter of wickets around the halfway point of their innings has cost them, as both sides look for a first win of the T20 season.
But no boundaries, that's the key thing here from a Glamorgan point of view.
Hogan to Plunkett, swing and a miss outside off stump.
Slow ball from Hogan there, just rolling his wrists over, taking the pace off it. 13 balls to go. What are you predicting, lads?
I'm going to say 145.
152.
And what would you say would be a par score on this wicket tonight that would be competitive? I think you're right.
180.
I think they'd be well short where they want to be.
They are well short where they need to be.
Hogan in, bowl, slower full toss outside the off stump, driven out into covers by Plunkett. There's a mix up here. And a terrible fielding as well. The throw was wide of Chris Cook. He had time to walk the wickets and take it off. He didn't know where the batsmen were. That was chaos all round.
Yeah, the ball was hit out to De Lange, out to deep point out in the boundary. And they've run a single, Plunkett coming back for the second. But the throw was thrown towards the middle of the wicket. So actually when Cook received that ball, he had his back to the batsman who's run behind. So he had no idea how far that batsman was away from him. So he panicked and threw the ball at the stumps. And quite rightly, he could have taken the ball and actually handed the ball onto the stumps. Plenty of time to do it. Threw the ball, missed the steps. Opportunity missed for Glamorgan there. Picking up wickets like that, you'd have a fresh batsman in now. 2 overs to go. Opportunity missed, but still Glamorgan well ahead of the game.
I'll be really interested to see who they bowl the last over, because if these two are still in, with De Lange's extra pace, they might fancy
Probably stick with Hogan, won't they?
Has he got one left?
Go on to the board, number 31, 3 overs.
Yeah,
stay with
Hogan.
I'd stay with Hogan, definitely.
Wag it is, coming into Jordan Clark, who's gone up and over the top of backward point, and they'll pick up 1, they'll get back for 2, but again, it hasn't made the boundary rope. 1, 3, 3 for 6. But yeah, I'd say on here, you're looking for 180 par.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Very quick outfield.
Oh, absolutely. And the pitch is quicker than it was the other night as well.
It's a great wicket.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Definitely quickened up since Tuesday. It's a good pitch. As Wag is left arm over the wicket to Jordan Clark. That's wide. That'll be signalled wide by umpire Debenham.
So you see Graham Wag's plan here. He wants to go full, very wide to the off stump. He's got a third man in place, deep point and a long off. Michael Hogan out there with Ingram, and looks like Lloyd there at backward point. So 2 men in the single there, nice and full. Ideally, he'll hit the men inside the ring. If not, he'll be only picking up singles out to the men on the boundary. That's the plan. Even more so, he's bringing another man over. The man at 45 looks like Douthwaite.
It's also going to have to be a hell of a strike from Jordan Clark over the covers from this end.
2 boys at backward point now, so full and wide is his plan. Batsman's job now will probably come across the offside and try and get that ball to the leg side.
Where does he go, Jordan Clark? Graham Wag's in, there he goes.
There we are.
Outside the off starting place, the paddle doesn't get a huge amount on it. And Fakar is able to get round to do the fielding, but yeah, went straight outside that off stump and looked for the little paddle.
It's the right idea, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. 135 for 6, because as I say, it's going to have to be a hell of a shot to go over extra cover.
Yeah, there's no room on the offside.
Absolutely not, and it's a long old carry out there as well.
Unless you try and slice the ball up over point from foot, but tough shot.
Yeah.
Easier shot is to ramp it.
Absolutely, and there's 2 men still in that backward point region for Graham Wag. Where does Plunkett's gone outside his off stump, and Wag follows him and he drives it down the ground. They should get 2 here. De Lange's round quickly. He's got a great arm, but they're back for the second. And 2 more to the total, but again, it's not a boundary. 137 for 6.
Yeah, Plunkett didn't quite get hold of it. Didn't hit as well as he could, and actually took a bit of pace off it, which enabled him to come through for the second.
Wonder if he's still feeling that thumb a little bit. He's changed his bat twice. Jordan Clark's getting some air in, because obviously it is very hot out there tonight.
Just looking at the flags on top of the pavilion, there's a bit of wind out, which would be a relief for all the fielders, not them as spectators as well. Very warm evening.
Absolutely, and Jordan Clark there, as I say, is just taking a big deep breaths as Wag, left arm over the wicket, outside that off
Shot.
stump goes Plunkett. Has he got enough of this? No, DeLanger,
Yes.
brilliant, absolutely brilliant catch at long on. He's a tall man, he hung in the air, took it, came down, flicked it up, and then made sure he was inside the rope. That's a brilliant catch from DeLanger. And Plunkett goes for 18. The partnership was worth 38, and Surrey a 137 for 7, and two of the best boundary catches you could wish to see this evening from Glamorgan.
I say, if you're going to hit the ball long and straight, you have to hit it very long. You've got Hogan one side, you've got DeLanger the other side.
Yeah.
And I think any other than those two men standing in that position, it would have been a 6.
But that, again, is a lot of preparation done from Glamorgan to have the right people in the right place.
It's the fine detail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fine detail, where you put your fielders, where you want your quick fielders, where you want the fields with your best arms, who are the fields you'd like to hide. You know, and it's no surprise, you know, Maynard leading the team that he's got here, some very good players in there. They look a very well drilled outfit.
They do indeed. Billy Root, that fantastic catch earlier, and then DeLanger, as you say, only Hogan would have been the only other one who'd have got anywhere near that, and DeLanger stayed in the air and then had the peace of mind as he landed to check where his feet were and then flick it up for himself. So the other thing there, of course, dot ball, 137 for 7. They did cross, so Clark gets back onto strike. Jay Dernbach, the captain's out there with him at the non-striker's end. Graham Wag is over the wicket to Jordan Clark. Clark slaps this one down the ground. One bounce to Colin Ingram at long off. Oh, he wants 2. He's not going to get it because Ingram, great arm. And one more to Jordan Clark. He's on to 26, 138 for 7.
It's interesting, Hogan was down at long off previous delivery, but he's put himself back inside the inner circle for some reason. Hopefully he's not injured or he's not struggling at all. And Ingram's put himself down there.
So Wag was happy with that. Now there's a very long chat between Jay Dernbach and Jordan Clark.
What do you reckon he said?
Hit it.
Please try and hit a boundary.
Seven balls left, boys.
Don't worry too much.
Tactics.
Just smash it.
Just a couple.
Short conversation.
Wag is in, and Dernbach, he runs this one down towards third man. We'll pick up a single. One more to the total, but a good over that from Graham Wag. And 1 over remains for Surrey. 19 have gone. 139 for 7, Surrey.
Yeah, the ball's been handed to Hogan to bowl the final over of this Surrey innings. I think a better option than DeLanger, just because he's got the other option of taking the pace off it.
I'll be honest with you, I got my maths wrong. I thought Hogan had bowled out. If you've got Hogan, you give it to Hogan. Don't you?
Every time.
Any pace on it from DeLanger, but Hogan, such a good bowler.
Yeah.
He'll mix this up. And
So-
the other thing is he's got Jay Dernbach on strike as well, hasn't he?
Yep, new batsman on strike. Obligatory rendition of Sweet Caroline. No innings can go by without it in a T20 match. 6 balls to come. Hogan in, bowls. That's hit up towards cover. It won't carry. Single for Dernbach. 140 for 7.
Yeah, 5 balls left. He's going to swing himself off his feet there, Jay Dernbach.
Jordan Clark, who won a T20 quarter-final for Lancashire against Glamorgan.
I feel a bit for Jordan Clark in this comp. He's gone 45, 21, 26 not out. I think he's got to come in earlier.
Yeah.
That's the problem for Jordan Clark. He's sort of running out of partners and running out of overs. Oh, Hogan's coming off. Hogan's got that one delivery and is coming off.
Yeah, see,
So
yeah,
you
they
were
moved
right,
in previous fields.
He must have felt some sort of strain, Michael Hogan, and that is bad news for, not necessarily for tonight, but for the next few weeks, possibly, if it's some sort of strain that keeps him out. Let's hope that's just precautionary.
Well, you spotted it, Mike, because they swapped Ingram and Hogan.
Yeah, he always feels a long on or long off in the final over. He moved himself inside the cover there. Hopefully it's not too serious. Look, just point to his thigh there as he's on the side of the
He
pitch.
did have a hamstring strain last season that kept him out a good few weeks.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a worry for Glamorgan as Michael Hogan goes off. Marchant de Lange will complete the innings. Hogan 3.1 overs, 0 for 22. His final figures as de Lange bowls at the feet, and they'll go through for a single as de Lange has a throw back at the non-strikers end. That one, well, it was dug in at the feet really of Clark. And somehow they managed to scramble through for a single in the chaos.
What about that then? Here we are, here's the ball, 5 balls, and the first one's a spearing York at 90 miles an hour.
The other thing that would have worried Jordan Clark is he looked up and Jay Durbat was standing next to him. It's just all of a sudden there was his partner.
Surrey are doing their best to get a run out this innings. 141 for 7. De Lange bowls him. Crosses stumps when turned back. De Lange just a bit too quick for him. 141 for 8. As De Lange picks up his second wicket.
Pretty good stuff from De Lange, isn't it?
Very, very good. Durnback sort of coming across his stumps, exposing all of his stumps to try and get that ball as fine as he can down to third man, and in doing so just missing it. And fairness to De Lange, he's come on, he's bowled 2 beautiful Yorkers to finish off the innings.
He's doing this cold as well, because he wasn't expecting to be bowling at the moment, De Lange. Pretty good stuff. He
has been guilty, I think, of bowling too short at times in one-day cricket, unlimited overs cricket generally, but those Yorkers are virtually unplayable at times, aren't they?
Yeah, they are unplayable, but Durnback, I think he looked like a lower-end batsman trying to play the ramp shot there, exposing all of his stumps rather than actually getting right behind the ball. But in fairness, that's not what he's paid for tonight. He's predominantly a bowler for Surrey, and probably not here to score the runs tonight.
Likewise, Gareth Batty, who is receiving the next ball and is bowled. And De Lange is on a hat-trick. Batty stepping away, giving himself room, and didn't get very near it. 141 for 9.
Oh, this then 3 beautiful Yorkers from De Lange.
It's an absolute masterstroke, this. Not for Hogan, obviously, he's got the... And hopefully it's nothing too serious, but De Lange has literally just come in and has bowled a Yorker and then has hit the stumps twice. And as you say, he's now on a hat-trick, and this Surrey innings is stuttering to a halt at the moment.
But just thinking, as Captain Ingram, just thinking, OK, if we haven't got Hogan tomorrow for our Middlesex fish, or maybe he could be out for a bit longer, at least I know I've got a go-to man here.
Absolutely.
I've got a number 2 who can actually come in and spear in these Yorkers, which is unplayable, really.
So the other bowling figures that we know about: Owen Morgan 4 overs 0 for 23, pretty useful, less than a run a ball. Dan Douthwaite 2 overs 0 for 16. Michael Hogan 3.1 overs 0 for 22. Graham Wagg 4 overs 2 for 28, pretty impressive. And Andrew Salter, career best, 4 overs 4 for 23. It was nearly 5 for 17 if the last ball had been caught on the boundary.
Well, the other thing with this as well is you look at the batting line-up for Glamorgan. If they get off to a flyer, we could be done early tonight. Genuinely. No, I'm saying
plenty of bowling options in that Surrey side as well.
But on this pitch here,
Mark, I agree with you. I think it's going to be an early night.
Yeah, I genuinely, if they get in early and go, we could be done early tonight, because Surrey are so far below where they need to be. They will have to bowl out of their skins here, Surrey.
Let's not count any chickens from a Welsh point of view.
I'll tell you what, Imran Tahir wasn't expecting to have a bat. This is taking forever. All his gear was still up in the dressing room. He had to run up there, bug his gear on, and then come out.
10 overs gone, 1 wicket down. That'll be right tonight.
That'll be right. I won't need any gear.
2 balls left available to Imran Tahir, the South African spinner. Marchant De Lange on a hat-trick. And he comes, bowls to Tahir, who gets a bat on it, and there was almost a run out. It's a dot ball anyway, as he played it straight to root at mid-wicket.
It mentioned him just running to his car. 14 overs gone. No.
Oh no, I haven't even got the kit out the car yet.
Where's my keys?
Arrived. Yeah. Where's my sponsor car keys? I'll tell you what, De Lange's got a magnificent moustache as well, hasn't he? I've just seen it on the big screen.
Last ball of the innings, De Lange bowls, chipped over, mid-off, or is it? No, it's caught. It's caught by Fakhar Zaman, and Imran Tahir has gone for naught, and it is 3 wickets in 4 balls for Marchant De Lange. And Surrey, having been 72 for 1 in the 9th over, with Jacks and Finch well set, somehow are 141 all out, with Marchant De Lange finishing with 4 for 26.
I'll tell you what, those are 5 pretty good balls from Marchant De Lange, aren't they?
What a
He didn't go for a run.
Didn't give him a sniff.
No, Yorker, wicket, dot, wicket.
Brilliant
That's the way
finish.
to do it. Absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant finish, but set up by, for me, the middle part of that innings with the spinners. Salter came on his first delivery. He picked up the big wicket, the main man, Finch, caught on the boundary. Lovely catch from Root out there. And then they just squeezed Surrey. And how many wickets did they pick up between the two spinners? Salter 4?
4.
Salter got the 4. Morgan didn't claim any wickets, but went for less than a ball and over, so he's part of the squeeze.
And how many boundaries went in that squeeze there? 2.
There was,
it 6 or 7 overs was it they bowled between them?
They bowled all 8
8
between them. Yeah.
8 overs.
Sorry, 7 in that squeeze because
he
opened.
squeeze, he bowled the open one.
You opened with 1, yeah. So to go for what, 2 boundaries in 7? Oh, it's ridiculous.
Well, here we are. Surrey there. 2, 3, 7 4s, 4 6s. That's outstanding.
And you just felt Finch was biding his time, and how different I think the Surrey innings would have looked if that went for 6.
Yeah,
if that went to 6, he would have just kept on going and going and going. But the first time he just put his foot on that accelerator, caught in the boundary. All of a sudden I feel there was a panic up in that Surrey change going, right, we haven't really got the resources that we're used to. All of a sudden, Glamorgan bang on top from that ball onwards.
Well, the other figure here for you is 21, 27, 30, 43 dot deliveries as well, as the T-shirts are being fired into the crowd at the moment by the T-shirt launching people.
Forget the T-shirt. You want to catch one of these 6s? That's £1,000,
£1,000.
Keep your T-shirts, mate.
But that's pretty good. 43 dot balls during that Surrey innings. So they've absolutely squeezed Surrey in those middle periods. Brilliant stuff from the 2 spinners. And then De Lange there. It's extraordinary, really. Hogan bowls 1 ball, has to go off, poor lad. And then De Lange bowls 5 balls, picks up 3 wickets and doesn't concede a run. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant from De Lange. And Surrey are so short there. Surrey for me are 40 runs short of par.
Comfortably 40, par, not par winning, just par. Yeah.
You know, you want 222. Well, Middlesex on Tuesday night. Middlesex posted, where have I got it? 220 odd? 209 for 3. And they were short as well, because it was a brilliant 100 from Milan, but he took a little bit of time just to get a breather halfway through it and got 117. So Surrey will have to bowl out of their skins tonight.
Yep.
Honestly, if one of those top 4 get in for, I'm thinking Ingram as well, if they get in, although Thacker on his debut will want to have a, then we could be done early tonight.
Gareth Batty has just popped up on my scorecard as hit wicket.
Oh, right. Maybe he cut his stumps then. He backed away to cut. Maybe he's cut his own stumps down.
I thought the ball hit off stump anyway.
Well, I don't know. I don't know whether Adam can find that replay again. He's a busy man behind us. But that happened in a one-day international. Someone stepped away to cut and actually just cut their own stumps over. Gave themselves room and then smashed their own stumps.
I remember talking to Matthew Maynard about this years ago when the free hit first came in. We had a warm-up game against Somerset, and a free hit happened. Someone bowled a front foot no ball, and Maynard stepped on his stumps on purpose to give himself more room.
Really?
Yeah, on his own pit to give himself more room to try and hit the ball as far as he could, so he just give himself more time. And I think the rules changed from there on in.
Amazing. Cool, that's lateral thinking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Maynard.
But I wonder there if Gareth Batty, he gave himself room outside the leg start. I wonder if he's just cut his own stumps. So
well, I suppose he may have hit his stumps before the ball hit him, but I was pretty sure that the ball hit him as well.
It's been extra, and the Fox. We had a Fox.
We've got fielding disc controversy. We've had a Fox on the field. We've had lightning. What's next? What's next? About time for a streaker, Mike. Off you go.
No problem.
We've had those before here. It's quite a big fine these days.
Yeah, it is. I think you're in jail. I think they lock you up. I think.
Go to prison.
I think they lock you up for the night.
About £1,000. So if you've caught the ball in the crowd, you have a streak there for free.
Yeah, exactly. But that's always quite embarrassing as well, isn't it? Because I always think with that once you sort of sober up and you've got to find your clothes as well.
Yeah, fair point.
Because you've left them where you are.
There was
one never a great idea.
A streaker up in Durham, wasn't it, earlier for one of the internationals? And he got on there and I think
They broke the hold of the stewards.
I think they had about 5 of them wrapped round in one stage,
and he broke away.
The strength on the man was unreal. Good on him. Honestly, if England are looking for a second rower, that's probably a man. I wouldn't look any further than him.
It was an incredible effort. It really was. Fueled by however many points it had.
Yeah.
He then broke for freedom.
Manful effort from him. Good on him.
Absolutely. Now, with it, also below us is the tennis ball catch competition as well, where they fire a ball off the roof of the OCS stand, and kids have a chance to catch the tennis ball. So that's going on. The T-shirt. Surrey bowlers are out there at the moment, or knowing what they got. Really, Surrey have to bowl Glamorgan out.
Yeah.
And just think, right, you've got this tennis ball competition going on underneath. They're firing balls out of a bowling machine. You've got T-shirts being launched out. You do some sort of like grenade launcher, and you've got Surrey team warming up at the far end. God knows how many balls are being thrown around over there as well. Honestly, I keep my wits about me if I was in the crowd there. You'd get one in the side of the head.
It's modern cricket.
Just quietly having a lager on the side of the pitch.
Yeah, well, I suppose though, if you got hit on the head by a T-shirt, it wouldn't be too bad.
No.
But
there was the Glamorgan game against Middlesex at Richmond. We nearly lost a young mascot cleaned up before the start of the game. Paul Ladd was out there to help with the ceremonial toss. You know, Ladd. It's a big moment, about 9-10 years old, whatever. All proud out there at his kit, bearing the coin for the captains to chuck up in the air. And the teams are still practicing on the outfield. Ball skims in, whacks this poor little kid who's about 4 stones soaking wet on the chest. He's let off crying, poor kid.
Oh, no.
You have to be really careful out there, don't you?
Well, you do.
Imagine the
so
photo there. And man, you've got some poor kid bruised with tears, and he's there flipping a coin because his mum and dad have paid the money for him to do it, or he's won some competition.
What did you see the footage of the lady at the end of the World Cup when England won, and she dived? I hope she was all right. I think she was. She literally dived 6 rows. You just saw her diving,
that was
and then
extraordinary, wasn't
she disappeared.
Not sure.
Yeah,
she was celebrating something or other.
Yeah. She just dived full length and then disappeared about 6 rows down. So,
at Lords. Yeah. She's full of pims.
No,
she wouldn't feel a thing.
No, absolutely not. I remember doing after Surrey. I've related this story before, but out there, I remember Surrey had the bowl out when they won their 2020 game to get to finals day, or the quarterfinals it was back then. Tim Murtagh hitting the stumps, and then they had the bright idea for the next 40 over game at half time. I'll go out with a microphone and we'll get members of the public out to do a bowl out.
Right.
And I knew we had to stop it when no one had hit, and Otis Gibson was stood at the top of his mark and the batsmen were walking out, and still nobody had hit, and it was just like, oh, we'll have to give this up now and wander off. But that was one of those days where whoever took the mitt as well was hopeless. So all the balls were just flying into the crowd. So just to recap, 141 all out Surrey off their 20 overs, and at one stage they were looking pretty good with Will Jackson, Aaron Finch there, 73 for 1 in the 9th over, but then Jacks was caught down the leg side off Graham Wagg for 40, and then Billy Root took a brilliant catch off the first ball the next over from Salter, and Finch going for 28. Mark Stoneman was the first to go, caught by Douthwaite off to Langer at third man for 5, and then Surrey's innings really just fell away. Ollie Pope going for 12, Ricky Clark for 1, Tom Curran for 1, Liam Plunkett for 18, Jay Dernbach for 2, Gareth Batty without scoring, Imran Tahir without scoring. I feel a bit again there for Jordan Clark, 26 off 27 balls, but he ran out of partners. And I'll just go back to Jordan Clark in the games up to this point. Against Essex, Jordan Clark 45 from 27 balls, and against Middlesex 21 from 11 balls. I think he's got to go up the order. I think there's absolutely no point in coming in way down at 7. I think he's got to come up the order now, Jordan Clark. Anyway, Surrey are in a huddle. We're almost ready to get going. 142 for Glamorgan to keep up their 100% record here in South London.
Yep. Played 7, 6 of those completed. Glamorgan have won the lot. So, can they do so again? Glamorgan openers out. David Lloyd and Fakhar Zaman, the 29-year-old Pakistani left-hander, making his debut. Surrey will be encouraged by the fact that Tom Curran got him out in the England-Pakistan T20 game in Cardiff back in May. But he's got a bit of pedigree, 100 in the Champions Trophy final a couple of years ago. 138 in one of the one-days against England that preceded the World Cup, and an ODI highest score of 210.
Yeah,
Well, he's good, isn't he?
Beaten bad a bit.
Wow.
Beaten bad a bit, but he's fresh off the plane yesterday morning, so maybe his head's still somewhere over Dubai.
He's pretty comfy in first class, he'll be all right.
Zaman.
I wonder if he had his shoes on when he was laid back on his bed in first class.
Faka to face up then to Jade Dernbach. Bat raised high, has a swing outside off stump and misses.
I think Surrey would have to have Glamorgan 4 or 5 down after 10 overs.
Yeah, I
to have
agree.
any hope
I
in
agree.
this game.
You've got Ricky Clark there first slip. A slightly attacking field as you would expect. They need wickets. There's no way they can restrict Glamorgan down to 1-4-1 off 20 overs. No chance at all. So they need to take wickets. But comes with that, there'll be gaps in the field.
There's a slip in place for Dernbach running towards us and bowling to Faka, who drives but doesn't get hold of it, and it runs up to mid-off. There is no run. Darker skies in front of us over the pavilion.
I think we'll be okay. I don't think that's coming our way. I think that's sweeping around. If you were in Crystal Palace at the moment or at Selhurst Station, I think you'd be getting very, very wet. That's heading off back towards Brighton that way.
Pleased to hear it from a Welsh point of view. Surrey fans might be sucking it towards the oval. Dernbach is in to bowl to Faka, who drives and almost lobbed that one up to cover on the evidence of those first 3 balls. That's not a man who's entirely attuned to cricket in the UK at the moment.
Yeah, I think Dernbach, he's got a lot of skill, Dernbach, and on his day he can be very, very difficult to play against. I think he just took a little bit of pace off that, hoping that he'd be caught in cover. Didn't quite come off, but very well bowled.
So 3 dot balls to start with for Surrey as Dernbach races in, and Zaman looks for a push and run on the leg side, but the bowler is across to field and prevent it. 4 dot balls.
Just on the live stream, we're going to see this Gareth Batty wicket again to see how he hit his wicket. Because
we thought he was bowled.
Confused,
I thought he was bowled.
But it was Marchant de Lange was the bowler. He's back to outside the leg stump. Yeah, he's cut his own stumps. I don't think it hit his stumps. I think he's literally battered his stumps. He's cut his stumps there.
I've never seen that.
Wow.
That's one way. That's one way of avoiding facing another delivery from de Lange. Faka faces up to Dernbach, and he runs that one down to third man to get off the mark with a single. Very Steve James, albeit left-handed, that shot. Mike Powell. Evening, Steve, if you're listening.
He's not listening.
Did he ever wear boots like that?
No chance. No
Mr.
chance.
James in bright boots somehow.
He just rung me. He was at the Lords today, wasn't he?
No, of course he was at the test match.
Yeah.
He's across the way. Could have made it over here by now.
He's probably called me for a lift home. That's probably what he's called me. Lives just round the corner. Godfather of my kids, so I've got to say some nice things about him.
Steve James of the London Times. He will be joining us for one match in the T20 on BBC Sport Online. Glamorgan won without loss in the first over, chasing 1-4-2 to defeat Surrey as Dernbach bowls and Lloyd flicks it off his hips, and we'll get 4 runs off the final ball of the first over. Glamorgan are 5 without loss. They're chasing 142 at 7.1 runs per over.
Yeah, slightly down leg side, but Lloyd's very, very difficult to bowl at. Balls are slightly back for length, probably played for a straight bat by most. He will cut and pull you. So he's very, very difficult to bowl to get your length right.
That was a heck of a shot. That was actually, I'm seeing that again, I think it was on middle stump.
Yeah.
And he's just jumped across and whipped it behind square for 4. It's a lovely shot, that.
Yeah, very powerful. Cuts and pulls.
So Tom Curran, who bowled beautifully against Middlesex. Tom Curran. Amongst the chaos, Tom Curran, outstanding figures against Middlesex. 2 for 29. And he'll be bowling to Faka Zaman here, the left-hander. He's got a slip in there because they need wickets, Surrey. As over the wicket then comes Tom Curran. And this is turned leg side. They'll pick up 1. Carr moves on to 2, 6 without loss.
As we speak, just had a text from Steve James coming in saying be very careful.
Yeah, well.
So his text, he's probably going home, chauffeur driven, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, when you work for the Times of London,
Well,
they escort you everywhere.
Yeah.
They really do.
he's probably helicoptered back to Cardiff.
Probably,
Is that
absolutely,
important?
yeah. Will he be helicoptering back tomorrow though? Because there's still another day of the test match tomorrow.
Oh, I expect so.
Yeah, it's nice that, isn't it?
Luxury chauffeur-driven limousine.
Lovely. It's nice that when you can get it.
Lying back with a G&T.
Yeah, lovely. Quite right too. Feet up in the back. Yeah, lovely.
Not too many. He's the worst drinker in the world. I give him my terrible. He's a cheap date.
Tom Curran is into Lloyd, who's looking to whip this again off his hip. And that hits his thigh guard, rolls away in front of him, and there's no run. 6 without loss. Glamorgan in the second over of their chase of 142 after bowling Surrey out for 141. They were outstanding in the field. They were brilliant with the ball. And now they're looking to knock these runs down in the simplest of fashions.
It's a nice evening for Zaman to come into the Glamorgan team as well, isn't it? A reasonable score to chase. It's a nice wicket. It's a good evening. The ball won't be moving around too much. For as a batsman.
Curran bowls Lloyd with an absolute perler. Oh, that is a good one from Tom Curran, because Lloyd's been shaping to whip that leg side, and it's hit his off stump. And that looks a really good one from Tom Curran in the second over. The start that Surrey were looking for. They need wickets. But Tom Curran is in, and that's a great ball.
It's a nice ball, that.
Yeah, lovely bit of bowling from Tom Curran.
Slightly sat up, angling toward middle stump, just flicked away towards off, hitting the top of off stump. Lloyd trying to work that to the leg side, and obviously looking back now could have gone a little bit straighter on it, but a lovely start from Curran and Surrey.
Yeah,
1 for 6.
He took some right old tap in his first game back. I think it was 64 of his 3 overs against Essex.
Ouch.
But then came straight back into it against Middlesex. Of course, didn't play a game in the World Cup, so he's sort of been sat on the sidelines.
He's got the medal.
He's got a medal. He's got his medal. I think he'd have rather bowled some balls as well, but I think he's very happy to be back and playing now.
What you will have from Dernbach and Cam, they've both got very good out to the backhand slower balls. So the arm comes over the same pace. It looks like it's going to be a regulation quick delivery, but they take the pace off it very, very well. So in doing that, you can't set yourself. You have to watch the ball as close as you can.
Well, Colin Ingram comes out at number 3. One of the best players to watch is Colin Ingram. Left-hander, of course. Tom Curran is into him, and Ingram drives out. First ball, caught by Ricky Clark. That slip, they kept the slip in there. Tom Curran's on a hat-trick, and Glamorgan 6 for 2, and this is exactly what Surrey needed to do. They've got rid of the big man. First ball, kept the slip in there. He's gone for the drive, thick edge, straight into the mitts of Ricky Clark. Tom Curran's on a hat-trick, Glamorgan a 6 for 2.
What a delivery. What a delivery. Just outside. Ingram probably just pushing at it. As you do, you're a bit more aggressive in this form of the game, just pushing at it. Then the second slip in. 2 slips in for take out. If not, the Glamorgan's best player here tonight. Dangerous. Colin Ingram's back in the pavilion, just 1 ball needed.
That is a massive wicket for Surrey. And there we were saying if they can get in and get going, this will be over quickly. But at the moment,
I
Tom
did warn you,
Curran-
Mark. We're both being pessimistic about our teams.
Here comes the man who scored 100 against Surrey, of course, in that Royal London 50 game. Played beautifully, Billy Root. But he's now on a hat-trick delivery. We've had 2 tonight. DeLanger was on a hat-trick. And Billy Root settles himself down over his bat. They've got a slip and a gully for Tom Curran. On a hat-trick to the left-handed Billy Root. And outside it! Tom Curran has a hat-trick. And the catch taken by Ricky Clark. And Tom Curran has a T20 hat-trick. He's got rid of Lloyd, bowled for 4. Ingram caught first ball at slip by Ricky Clark, and then Billy Root caught by Ricky Clark at first slip. Again off Curran, a hat-trick for Tom Curran, unbelievable stuff. In the second over, Glamorgan are 6 for 3. Mike Powell summed this one up for me.
Very similar to Colin Ingram, wasn't it? outside off stump, both just fending at it really, tentatively pushing at that ball, and ended up in the safe hands of Ricky Clark. He has got some of the safest hands on the circuit here.
Absolutely, he's not
Brilliant
dropping
catch.
those, Ricky Clark. Fair play, Tom Curran, though. He has been right on the money. The money? Right on the money.
He's up for this as well, isn't he?
Absolutely, he loves all this.
He went off celebrating like a footballer who's just scored a goal. Ran off to the crowd trying to pump them up, and getting them going in the crowd, saying it's Surrey's night tonight.
I have to say, you sometimes get a hat-trick in a T20, but not often in the second over, where you've taken out one of the openers, number 3 and number 4. It's outstanding stuff from Tom Curran. And now they've got 2 slips in. Keep up with all of this. Morgan is the new batsman. Right-hander, Owen Morgan. Here comes Tom Curran. Listen to the roar over the wicket to Morgan. Oh, he's almost yorked him. Oh, this is an unbelievable over from Tom Curran. Fantastic over. A hat-trick, 1 run off it, 2 overs gone. Glamorgan are 6 for 3.
He was late on that as well, Morgan, wasn't he? Just sneaked past the off stump. It's gone for the Yorker, just missing an inch possibly from the off stump. Could have been 4 and 4.
The other thing this has done is it's got the crowd right into the game as well.
Yeah, they know they're in a bit of a fight now, I suppose, and the crowd again behind them.
Fantastic atmosphere now, it really is.
Great scenes now. It's a full house, 20-odd thousand people in, really getting behind their team.
Here comes Dernbach then, in to bowl, outside off stump, and Faka lets it go through. Well, this is going to allow Glamorgan's new signing to earn his money, Mike.
Yeah, but there's no reason to panic. There's no, we only need 136 off 18 overs. It's not a big score. I mean, if they were chasing 200 or something that was competitive at the turn of the game, but because it's such a low score, they're 3 down, but there's no reason to start playing any rash shots.
6 for 3, Glamorgan, with that Curran hat-trick as Dernbach bowls, and Faka is beaten outside the outside edge, just outside off stump, as the skies grow very dark indeed over South London, but growing dark over wreckage of a Glamorgan innings at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Glamorgan, if I was batting out there now, I'd be thinking I can still afford to go at 6, even just 7 and over for the next 4 overs or so, and we're still in a really good position. There's no reason to panic.
Zaman on 2 not out. Dernbach bowls, he drives to mid-off and pinches a single. There's a throw at the stumps. I think he probably have been home there.
Possibly home.
Tom Curran again.
Can't keep him out of the game.
You can't at the moment. I'll tell you what, if he was jet-lagged, he's awake now, isn't he?
Isn't he just?
Blimey.
Isn't he
Stood up
just?
one end, seen a hat-trick. Wow, welcome to the T20 in this country.
This is quite an extraordinary game for all sorts of reasons. 7 for 3. Owen Morgan in only his 3rd T20 Blast match. Run out without facing in the last game and clips that one off his legs. That will go down towards backward square, just a couple of runs in the end as the man runs round from square leg. Will Jacks to do the fielding, and they settle for 2. 9 for 3.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember a Surrey bowler having taken a T20 hat-trick before. Might be the first one.
There we are. Tweet Mark Church back and across. If you know.
Yes, is it?
Either
please?
Way. 9 for 3. Owen Morgan on strike. Wouldn't have expected to be in the 3rd over. Is he beaten outside? Top stump, and he's caught behind. Dernbach joins in the party. Owen Morgan has gone for 2, and all of a sudden Surrey are bang on top with Glamorgan in the doldrums at 9 for 4.
Yeah, Owen Morgan, they sort of reeked a little bit of a man who's not played a lot of cricket here at the Oval. He sort of lunged on the front foot, and here you get a little bit more bounce than you do definitely at Fire Gardens and other grounds on the circuit. You've almost got to hang on that back foot waiting for that bounce. He's ended up driving the ball sort of waist height, and only doing so getting a thin edge on it, getting caught behind. Glamorgan in a spot to bother here. 9 on the board, 4 down into the 3rd over of the game.
Be honest, when I said they needed Glamorgan 5 down after 10, I didn't expect 4 of them to be coming in the first 3 overs.
What about this?
Oh,
Game on.
Hat-trick. It is game on now, big time. And Surrey, to say their tails are up would be an understatement. Dernbach looks a yard quicker in this over.
He's up for this, isn't he?
Definitely.
Cook brings Cook to the crease. Played a lot of cricket.
Yeah, captain's innings needed here, Mr. Cook.
33-year-old captaining Glamorgan in the other forms of the game. Colin Ingram taking over just for this competition, albeit Cook has missed a fair amount of the season through injury. Now it's time for him to earn his money as he faces up to Dernbach and defends it back down the pitch to the bowler. 9 for 4 Glamorgan after 3 overs.
Yeah, and even with a lowish total, like 142, if you lose 4 in the first 3 overs, including a hat-trick, then you have to take a bit of time here if you're Glamorgan. You really do. And well, they've got Tom Curran down below us, getting ready to go again.
I don't think Glamorgan will really panic until they lose 1 more, because these two are very big hitters of the ball. A lot of experience out there in the middle for Glamorgan at the moment.
Over the wicket then comes Tom Curran to Fakhr Zaman, and he's turning this one into the leg side. He'll want to, he should get to, he will get to. That's very well played by Zaman. Also, I look at Mr. Wag as well. I just think, in any situation, I've seen him do it so many times. There's still batting to come here for Glamorgan. And as you say, they don't need to panic, but they'll have got the shock of their lives in that dugout. There'll be people scrambling for bats.
It's everywhere.
As in over the wicket comes Tom Curran to Zaman, and Zaman's pushing this one out towards backward point off the back foot, and there is no run. But as hat-tricks go, that is an outstanding hat-trick from Tom Curran. And then Jade Dernbach, as I say, was a yard quicker in that over, the captain. 11 for 4 Glamorgan in the 4th over, chasing 1-4-2 for victory.
Slippers come out.
Ricky Clark comes out from slip, will go in at short mid wicket, I would have thought.
I'd be tempted to leave him in
for
just 1 more over, especially with Zaman on strike.
Tom Curran is in over the wicket to the left-handed Zaman, who's turning this one down towards short fine leg, and there is no run. Liam Plunkett looks like he's getting warmed up. Surrey have plenty of bowling options. Dernbach, Tom Curran, Plunkett, Imran Tahir, Gareth Batty, Jordan Clark. So they've got plenty of bowling options for Surrey.
I just think it's a different set. I mean, if Surrey were 4 down, they're not going to get any score at all. I feel for the team they've got here tonight, but I just feel Glamorgan go a little bit deeper in their batting lineup.
That's Tom Curran. Over the wicket he comes to Zaman, and Zaman's cutting goes past his outside edge.
That's why I'd leave the slip. That's why I'd leave the slip in. Just gamble. I think it's worth the gamble. 5 down.
Definitely.
You know, overseas, we say fresh off the plane. Is he going to be a bit late on things? Possibly.
The other thing is, Surrey of course have Tahir and Batty. And Tahir would love to. Well, he's going to come on with wickets down now. And they'll be. Might start cautiously against Tahir as well. As waiting again is Fakhr Zaman, and he's getting a slower one. That's nicely bowled. He turns it straight back up the pitch to Tom Curran, and there is no run.
Well, you said it wasn't going to last long or go the distance, Mike. You might be right either way, because if you look at the players Glamorgan have got to come, Dan Douthwaite, Graham Wagg, Andrew Salter, Marchant de Lange and Michael Hogan, all players who like to put bat to ball. It's going to happen quickly, one way or another.
And these 2 out there at the moment as well.
And these 2.
Key partnership at the moment. Fakhr Zaman's driving straight back up the pitch. That's good from Tom Curran. Jumps quickly and high in the air, and Plunkett throws a horrible one, and it gets everybody scrambling. But in the end, it's a dot ball, and it's another good over from Tom Curran. Just the 2 runs off it, and 4 overs gone. And Glamorgan 11 for 4.
Absolute chaos in the Glamorgan ranks, and well, we thought 141 was possibly 40 or so below par. That's now looking back to a par score, isn't it, really? Yeah,
it is. Change the bowling here as well. The Tahir's coming on, pavilion end.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Dernbach's coming off.
This makes sense in the fact that
This is a big over.
you're going to gamble. He's only going to have 2 men out.
Yep.
But obviously, at 11 for 4, do you gamble?
Cook on striker, long on, deep square. Everyone on the offside within the circle. You've got a slightly closer Ricky Clark on the drive.
Tahir to Cook, who flicks it slightly uppishly towards mid-wicket, top ball.
Almost caught a mid-wicket there, didn't he? It was just 6 yards away from the fielder. Curran there.
Tahir in again to Cook, open stance, works this one square off that mid-wicket fielder and goes through for the single, which is probably what he was intending to do in the first ball.
It's got to be so careful. Obviously the square you're trying to hit, the more chance you've got to get a leading edge. It's a fine line there as a batsman.
12 for 4. Imran Tahir to Fakhar Zaman. Long on and mid-wicket are the outfielders for the left-hander. As Tahir bowls and Fakhar just works it out into the leg side, and they wander through for a single. 13 for 4. Glamorgan, if you are just joining us, chasing 142, but a Tom Curran hat-trick in the second over of the innings has set them back on their heels as Cook pushes forward and is hit on the pad. Appeal, token inquiry from Imran Tahir. Nothing doing from Alex Wharf. Tahir bowls again. Cook drives all along the ground to long on for a single. 14 for 4. Men out. David Lloyd for 4. Colin Ingram and Billy Root both caught at slip. First ball. Then Owen Morgan caught behind off turn back. For 2. Tahir bowls an appeal, although it looked to be on outside leg stump, and umpire Wharf agrees as Fakhar looked to go big over mid-wicket. It's 14 for 4 Glamorgan after 5 overs now, chasing 142, which is in the far distance now.
Yeah, 5 overs gone. Just 14, four wickets down for Glamorgan. Cook, Zaman, and just sort of taking stock of what's just happened over the last 5 overs and just gathering their thoughts and thinking, right, let's slow it down.
The other thing is, from Imran Tahir's point of view, he's not gone that well in his first 2 games. 2 overs against Essex for 39, 4 overs for 40 against Middlesex. So actually a good time for him to be slipped into the attack, and that was a tidy first over from Imran Tahir. It was the first ever Surrey T20 hat-trick as well, just had that confirmed. So Jordan Clark from the Vauxhall end is in, and this is tucked away into the leg side by Cook. This is the final over of the power play. Extraordinary piece of fielding from Imran Tahir there, who threw it and flung himself. He spent a lot of time rolling around, Imran Tahir. His celebration when he took a wicket, when he took his first Surrey wicket, was quite spectacular.
Loves the celebration.
He ended up running up the Harleford Road. He almost had to get the bus back from Oval Tube. He went miles. The Surrey players were obviously aware of it, didn't try and run after him either. They just let him come back. 15 for 4 as Clark is in to Fakhar Zaman, who's pulling leg side, and it's skidding along the turf. Will Jacks is chasing. It's going to beat him. It's going to be the first boundary for Fakhar Zaman as well. So that's over the rope and away for 4, and nicely put away by Fakhar Zaman. Not that short, but still just pulled it off his chest through the leg side. Will Jacks sprinting, and it beat him over the rope and away for 4. Hot old night out there, steamy, I'd say. Steamy night in the capital. And Fakhar Zaman, 10 not out, 19 for 4 Glamorgan, 142 the target. Jordan Clark is over the wicket to Fakhar Zaman, and he's lovely shot. Just opens the face and guides a slower one between Ollie Pope and Imran Tahir, who's on the edge of the circle at third man. It's a lovely bit of craftsmanship from Zaman.
It's a lovely shot there. Everyone up on the offside within the inner circle, and it's only slightly wide of the off stuff, and he's just guided that ball well within the man on 45. Lovely shot.
Waits again. Does Zaman. Little bit of ticking of the scoreboard now as Jordan Clark is into him, and Zaman opens the face, guides this one off towards backward point. There's Tom Curran again. He's everywhere, and they'll pick up another single. to the total. 24 for 4. At the end of this over on the live stream, I think we'll see that Curran hat-trick again, in case you missed it. It's a good one. And Tom Curran's going out towards deep backward square now. This is why you sign these blokes, though, Zaman. These sorts of situations, really. As in over the wicket comes Jordan Clark to Cook. Cut away by Cook.
Oh, no.
And that's got through Will Jacks at backward point, who kicks the turf in frustration. They'll get two. He just got himself in an awkward position there, did Will Jackson. It's got through his hands.
If this makes any sense, he almost got too close to it there, backward point. And he was a half dive, half stop. Actually, with Jacks, the three balls previous at the boundary that went for, and he was running along the boundary, he didn't get a dive in. He sort of ambled along and sort of like watched to go over the rope, where I think when Glamorgan were fielding, there was a bit more desperation out there.
As Jordan Clark is in over the wicket to Cook. Cook drives. There's Will Jacks doing the fielding at backward point. End of the over. That's the end of the power play. So the power play, 26 for 4. Surrey's power play. They were 54 for 1. Here's the Curran hat-trick again on the stream. So that's the first one. Bold, Lloyd, then Ingram drives, outside edge caught by Ricky Clark, and then Billy Root, identical, drives, catch from Ricky Clark, off goes Tom Curran. Last seen heading off towards Elephant and Castle. Yeah, good hat-trick that.
Really looked like a replay of the same bit of tape, didn't it? The two left-handers edging to slip. For viewers on the Surrey Cricket website, for listeners on the BBC Sport website, we just have to take our word to it. 26 for 4 as into the attack, Liam Plunkett. 0 for 24 in his last match off a couple of overs, but of course one of England's World Cup heroes, as he bowls to Thacker, who fancied nicking a single on the offside. Chris Cook quite rightly said no, because Ricky Clark was in from cover.
Field he's given himself. He's got a fine leg, a deep square, a deep cow. Mid on is up, mid off is up, cover, deep point, and a third man. So he's got anything on the leg side, he's picking up single. So I'd imagine there'd be a lot of slower balls and try and work it to those boys on the leg side. What he don't want in any cover drives.
Here comes Plunkett then, charging towards us to bowl the left-handed Thacker, who runs that one down to third man for a single. Batty with the fielding, 27 for 4.
It's a fine balance now for Surrey, because they're thinking, right, do we go for another wicket? Do we put a slip in? Do we try and manufacture a wicket from somewhere, but in doing so we'll create scoring opportunities? Or do they say, oh, hang on, we're actually doing all right there, there's a reasonable chance we could defend 141? So it's quite an important stage of the game here in the next 4 or 5 overs.
Definitely massive partnership, this one.
Cook waits, open stance for the right-hander as he tries to work that on the leg side, but plays it straight back to Plunkett, who fields in his follow-through.
Tell you what, he's a good fella to have coming in at this point, though, Liam Plunkett, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, England, he didn't lose a game for England in the World Cup when he played. Liam Plunkett, all that experience. And
this hammer's back of a length, isn't he? So relentless.
Absolutely.
Doesn't give you much to hit.
Nothing at all.
Surrey's 5th bowler in just the 7th over, as that is hit through the offside by Cook. He'll pick up a couple of runs here out towards the deep cover boundary. Throw comes in. Zaman is comfortably back at the non-strikers end. By the way, he's wearing 39. He's a former Navy man. It was the number of his room in the naval barracks.
His room?
Done.
Yeah. Boys, whatever you call it. He's probably shared with 500 other people. But
his hammock.
Not his personal room. 29 for 4. Cook pulls through mid-wicket. Single only, as it's fielded on the mid-wicket boundary.
See, the thing from here is if Glamorgan are up around 50 after 10, but these two are still there, that's okay, because you can easily push on the second half of the innings.
Yeah, exactly.
So tens on here is not, 10s and over, definitely doable.
For argument's sake, you have 10. Say you went to 40 off the last 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fine.
You'd be happy with that.
Wickets in hand. It's all about wickets in hand from now on. Surrey had them, and then they didn't. And Glamorgan losing 4 within the space of a couple of overs, including that Tom Curran hat-trick. 30 for 4. Fakhar Zaman pulls at Plunkett, but misses, and the ball trickles out on the leg side. 30 for 4 it is. At the end of 7 overs here on BBC Sport Online, just 4 runs off the Plunkett over.
Looks like he's taking a punt off that last ball there.
Yeah.
Back as a man, didn't it? Picked the last ball of the over to try and swing over the leg side.
I think he'd be disappointed he's missed out on that slightly shorter boundary there for the left-hander playing towards the pavilion, and it's hit him on the pad. He's missed out there, but a bit of light relief for the crowd. It's dropped down to 31 degrees now.
Oh, there they are.
9:15.
Ah, lovely. It's going to be lovely by midnight.
The
It'll be nice and cool by midnight.
Jumpers and blankets will be out very soon.
Absolutely. What a strange old evening this has been, in the right way, because the cricket's been terrific. Not quite what we expected. And there's been some other bits and pieces going on to keep us entertained. It's going to be Gareth Batty into the attack for the first time with his off-spin from the Vauxhall end 8th over, and Cook just pushes this one down the ground. He looked for a second like he was going to wind up and go over long on there.
I think that's what he wants.
Yeah.
That's the shortest part. So cow corner for the right-hander now, heading towards the new pavilion. What do you call this? The new stand?
OCS stand.
The OCS stand.
The OCS stand is its official title.
Let's look after the sponsors.
The OCS stand, and it's actually, it's 14 years old now.
Is that right?
Because it was open for the 05 Ashes. This one skipped on to Zaman, who's looking to, I think, guide that off down towards third man, but it skipped onto him, little inside edge onto his back pad.
Yeah, got Batty coming round the wicket here, bowling to the left-handed Zaman. Him on the pad, probably sliding down leg side then.
As round the wicket he comes once again. Zaman's down the pitch, pushes it straight back to Gareth Batty. He's got a very experienced off-spinner bowling to him at the moment. 31 for 4. Gareth Batty spinning the ball in his fingers, and then will come bouncing in round the wicket to Zaman. And Zaman's working this one leg side. They will only get one, I think. Well, they come back for 2. No, Finch is quickly up to do the fielding. Throw comes in straight over the top of the stumps, and that'll be one more to Zaman. He moves on to 17, 32 for 4. They've played it nicely so far. There doesn't seem to be any sort of panic between Cook and Zaman at the moment. I think they just know if they can get themselves to the 10 over mark, then they have a chance to push on. As Batty is into Cook. Cook drives out towards Ricky Clark, who does the fielding, moving around to his right-hand side. And they'll pick up another single. One more to the total. 33 for 4.
Almost feels like a bit of standoff at the moment, doesn't it? Morgan picking up their singles.
Eyeing each other up at the moment.
Yeah.
As here goes Zaman. He's going to blink down the ground. He's blinked first, and he's caught by Aaron Finch. So it's Fakhar Zaman who blinked as they were eyeing each other up. And he's picked out Aaron Finch at long on. That's a huge wicket for Surrey. Zaman's gone for 17, and it's 33 for 5.
Yeah, he's holding his head there as he's walking off. Zaman, he probably thought, I think he was looking to hit this over the offside, but it ended up so far onto his pad. He's just gone through the shot, and he's ended it straight down the throat of the safe hands of Aaron Finch down there long on. Big boundary was aiming for down there as well. Huge blow for Glamorgan.
Game this is not at all
33 for 5.
Unbelievable game of cricket this. With what we've seen tonight though, anything could still happen. And Dan Delthwaite's making his way out there into the middle. So he never got a game at the Oval for Surrey. He's getting a game tonight in front of a full house with Glamorgan 33 for 5, chasing 142.
I think I'd have been tempted to put Graham Wagg in above him.
What's that? What were you thinking? Experience?
Experience, be it Wagg being able to knock it around, take 2s, get a scoring rate going up to 8 and over, just take the pressure off a little bit.
I understand where you're coming from. Ingram and Maynard are probably thinking, well, there's plenty of overs left. If you throw all our cards right in, straight up, we could be in a bit of a mess.
As Cook hits that one into the covers but doesn't time it, dot ball.
suppose the other thing with Duthwaite as well is his natural game is to try and smack.
Exactly. He could just,
now,
it
if
could
he
be his night
comes
here.
off
Yep.
for 6 overs,
Yep.
5 overs,
Yep.
all of a sudden you then got Graham Wagg
Who will come in?
who can knock it down.
Yeah, run around.
Yeah, absolutely. Rather than Duthwaite having to come out a bit later on and do that.
With more pressure on him.
Absolutely.
Your senior players will take the pressure.
Cook, the senior player, on 10 not out. Again, mistiming it on the offside. And again, a dot ball from Liam Plunkett.
He's good bowling this from Plunkett again. Straight into the pitch.
Just not giving Cook any room. He's looking to cut the ball as much as he can here. He's trying to he's probably trying to overhit it, and in doing so he's rolling his wrists on it, and all he's doing is clothing it to the man at cover, Ricky Clark at cover there.
33 for 5, Glamorgan in all sorts of trouble. Duckworth Lewis is 72 at the end of this over with 5 wickets down. So they're miles behind, and Surrey in the box seats as Cook flicks a single down to square leg. 34 for 5.
So what do you say, Mark? You wanted 4 down with 10 overs gone.
I said 4 or 5 down with
Right.
10. So they've got their 5 now before they've got to the 10.
So 108 runs required. 8.5 overs gone.
10 and over still doable.
Still doable, but Surrey very much on the front foot at the moment. Pressure really on these batsmen to reverse the momentum of this game. As Plunkett bowls, Douthwaite going across his stumps, but then drives straight to short cover, and there's no run.
Tell you what, the bumblebees are enjoying it. Away to our right. I think there's some slightly well-oiled bumblebees now from what I've seen.
They don't know what day it is.
I think they may have lost a few somewhere around the ground. If anybody spots a bumblebee,
it's global warming.
Well,
the bees are disappearing.
I know. But if you could point them back in the right general direction, that would be kind. There they are on the
Climate
live stream.
catastrophe.
dearie me.
34 for 5 on this Scorchio day in South London. Scorching evening. 34 for 5. Surrey are scorching hot as Douthwaite drives and misses outside off stump. He's getting his feet in a bit of a tangle here, Mike. Yeah,
he's just planting his front foot a little bit early and just wafting out with his arms at the moment. I think you just got to take stock of where they're at. Obviously, the 5 wickets down isn't ideal, but we're chasing a low score tonight. You just got to get yourself in, give yourself a little bit of time. There's batsmen to come behind, so don't panic. Let's get up the other end.
Plunkett charging in, bowls to Douthwaite, who works it to mid-on, but they decide against the single.
Oh, bowled.
And that is a superb over from Liam Plunkett, and Glamorgan stuck in, well, barely out of first gear really. 34 for 5 in 9, needing 142 for victory.
It's interesting, Mike, I totally agree. Surrey, batting-wise, are short batsmen at the moment. Bowling-wise, that's the strong suit. They've got chock full of experience. So they're sort of playing to their strongest suit at the moment. They're playing their strongest hand. And it will be Imran Tahir to bowl the 10th over now from the Vauxhall end.
In bowling so well in theory, so I think about when I'm back, they've almost turned a 20 over innings into a 15 over innings because they've bowled so well for those first 5 overs.
Tahir then with his leg breaks is coming in over the wicket to Cook. Oh, beats him on the outside. Looking to drive, bit of turn there, and nicely taken by Ollie Pope.
It almost looked like Cook shaped up to hit that over the top for 6 with 2 men back. It's a big shot.
Yeah, long off and long on there. As Tahir is in, Cook drives down the ground, sensibly played. Aaron Finch comes up to do the fielding, and they'll pick up a single. 1 more to the total. 35 for 5, Glamorgan in the 10th over. If you're just joining us, Glamorgan bowling Surrey out for 141. Quite brilliant in the field and with the ball. 4 wickets for Salter, 4 wickets for Delanger, but then Tom Curran in his first over a hat-trick. Changed everything as Tahir is into Douthwaite, who's looking to drive, doesn't time this at all. That just squirts back up the pitch, and there is no run. Again for Douthwaite now, he's got, well, the leading ever wicket taker in T20 cricket bowling at him. As in over the wicket he comes, quicker one, cut away by Douthwaite, nicely played. He'll get a single, as up comes Will Jacks to do the fielding. Throw comes into Ollie Pope. 1 more to the total, 36 for 5. But we're going to be at halfway soon. So we're going to be at the halfway point pretty soon, from a Glamorgan perspective and a Surrey perspective. As Tahir is in, Cook turns this one out towards deep mid-wicket. They'll take another single. Sensibly played. Jordan Clark comes up to do the fielding. That will take Cook on to 13. Dathwaite comes back onto strike on 1. 2 balls left of this, the 10th over. Imran Tahir is in. And this is slapped down the ground by Dathwaite to Aaron Finch again as the throw comes in. Apologies, 1 ball left of the over. And that is halfway, everybody. So Glamorgan at the halfway point, chasing 142 of 38 for 5. So it's 104 off 10.
No, if ever there was an option for Surrey to break this curse of Glamorgan, this is it tonight.
Be Gareth Batty then from the pavilion end to bowl to Chris Cook on 13 not out, or not, as the case may be. Doesn't deliver. 38 for 5. Glamorgan needing to score more than 10 and over, but crucially with 5 wickets down as Douthwaite drives up towards long off and takes the single.
Tell you what, if Glamorgan keep that unbeaten record going tonight, they've batted brilliantly in these last 10.
Surrey surely favourites now, with Glamorgan struggling badly. Cook faces up to Gareth Batty.
Here we go.
Comes down the wicket, pummels it up to long off, and is caught. Chris Cook is taken on the boundary, 39 for 6. So surely now it is Surrey's night.
Yeah, Liam Plunkett with the catch down there, pretty safe inside the right. Just had a feeling that Cook was going to go for it in this over. Had to make something happen.
Just looked like Batty just give her a little bit more air, a little bit more flight, enticing Cook to play that shot down the ground. In fairness, he played it on the offside, which is the shortest part of that straight boundary, but just didn't quite get enough on it and got caught right on the rope. Glamorgan, 39 for 6. 10 overs gone.
Well, that will bring, won't it, Graham Wagg out to the middle now. And he loves a challenge, Mr. Wagg. He's got one on his hands here. And 39 for 6. You can see Cook's thinking, though. Shortest boundary.
Yep. Is it right?
Straight over the top. Absolutely.
It was the right shot.
Absolutely. And Plunkett, good catch. We've seen some great catches on the boundary tonight, haven't we?
Yes.
Delanga, that one from Plunkett, really good. So, Wagg out there in the middle, having a bit of a stretch. Obviously, earlier we saw him trying to coax a fox off the outfield. That didn't go very well.
He's had a busy night.
He's had a really busy night.
Batsman didn't cross, so Wagg will be on strike. 2 for 28 he took with the ball. He'll need something even more special with the bat, as Surrey's 1-4-1 looks likely to be enough. Batty bowls and Wagg plays it to short mid-wicket. No run as Stoneman does the fielding there.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you'd look at the scores and think that pitch must have been hard work.
Yeah.
It's actually all right, isn't it?
The belter.
Yeah.
Everyone else benefiting from the pressure of Curran's hat-trick, as that's, a big swing from Wagg. The ball trickles down to short third man. Not quite sure off what. It's a bye off the keeper's gloves in the end. That can't have been far from bowling.
Slightly short of length. Graham Wagg is trying to hit that.
That
hit out the ground, and he's missed it.
Douthwaite drives into the leg side, and it's parried by Stoneman. Back to Batty the bowler, and it's a dot ball. 40 for 6.
Douthwaite's done something here.
Oh,
Douthwaite's gone in the.
He's strained something.
Immediately he looked for that run.
Yeah.
He's called straight away to the dressing room.
What's he done there? Hopefully,
hopefully it's just cramped.
Yeah,
for
hopefully
him,
just
poor lad.
cramped.
It's a humid night, but yeah, immediately called straight to the dressing room.
I don't know why he's walking to the physio. I thought he'd go the other way around and stand still and let the physio come to him.
Absolutely. But yeah, he does look in trouble there.
Oh, that's cramped. You got Graham Wagg holding him there and stretching out his toes.
Dr. Wagg, physio Wagg.
I hope he's more successful than
Fox
he was
whisperer.
with the Fox. Oh my lord.
Left arm medium, quick.
I'm not sure I want Wagg and Ricky Clark with me in that position pushing my feet.
Brilliant. He's still doing it. The physio's out there and Greenwag's still stretching him off here.
He's had
I think he
what an
knows
evening.
best.
He's also just patted Douthwaite on the bottom with his bat, which probably isn't exactly what he needs at the
Now
moment.
he's off to do a bit of gardening on the wicket.
Yeah. See if there's any more wildlife around. What an evening Graham Wagg has had. But yeah, I think this might be cramp rather than anything too serious. But he's still flat on his back, poor lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he immediately, when he looked to set off for a single there, immediately the hand went up.
I thought that he'd strained something
Yeah, I tell you
at
what
the
he
back
did.
of the leg playing a big shot.
You want to hope it's a bit more than cramp the fuss he made there, if I'm honest.
This is taking a while.
The way he carried on, he'd been
Well, it's a
shot.
hot
Yeah, I
old
know,
evening, isn't it? He hasn't maybe taken quite enough liquid on board or something.
The fuss he made, I thought he'd been shot.
Well, the only thing is, they can't take too long over this. Look, the umpires now are looking at their watches.
Yeah,
because we're up to 9:30 at the moment.
Yeah, Alex Wolf's making his way over to the physio and saying, right, we're either carrying on or we're off.
He's smiling. Douthwaite, so he's up in his feet again. Well,
He's all right.
yeah, I think he is.
We're back in the game.
Yep, we're
Helmet
back in.
goes back on.
Yep.
Well, Glamorgan have already lost Michael Hogan
No, he
with
wants
some
a
sort
runner.
of strain.
Wants a runner. He's just signalled to the dressing room, I need a runner.
What are your thoughts on this? Should he be allowed to run it?
Well, it's an injury during the course of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. You take that rule away. Take the rule. Should he?
Yes.
Why is that?
This is cricket, old boy. It's the done thing.
I'll throw it in.
I'm not sure he should.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should have a runner when you're batting.
Mainly because it causes utter chaos
No,
as well.
That's fun.
It's a fitness thing.
Yeah,
Cramp's a fitness thing. Fluids and fitness.
yeah. Well, I suppose they'd have asked. Did they ask the captain?
I'd imagine
question?
so.
Is
I'd
he
imagine
allowed a
so.
runner? I remember we had all this with Kevin Peterson a couple of years ago. Ground to a halt for 45 minutes. The game.
Really?
Oh yes.
No sign of a runner yet, and Douthwaite is facing up to Gareth Batty from the pavilion end, and Douthwaite back on his stumps, defending back to the bowler. End of the over, 40 for 6 after 11. Glamorgan need 102 off 9 overs. That unbeaten record at the Oval is about surely to go in the next 40 minutes.
I think Batty's using a lot of experience there. I think he was keen, put a bit of pressure on the umpires, get a last delivery in as quick as he can. Right, let's get on with the game here, boys.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a hand on their throat
Well,
here.
otherwise, we could be here till midnight. I don't know what time everyone's got trains and things, but blimey. Yeah, the Kevin Peterson one was spectacular.
Really?
Yeah, because first of all, he ran Aaron Finch out.
I think
So
it was
he
here.
went back.
I was down here.
Yeah, and then Jason Roy was out, really cross. And then he went in the hammy.
I think it was
and
one of his last
those two
games.
had to come out and run.
Was that one of his last games?
It was.
Oh,
Shout
that's
for
close.
LBW,
Yes.
that's out. Looking to play into the leg side, Graham Wagg to Imran Tahir. Tahir's off, running off away to our left, but Graham Wagg looking to play all round that one and knock it into the leg side. Wagg goes 40 for 7, Glamorgan, and you really feel now this is becoming a almost hopeless task for Glamorgan with Wagg going.
Yeah, that's a classic how not to play leg spin there, isn't it? Planted the front foot down middle stump and tried to work it almost a square leg. How Square was trying to play that and he was plumb in front. No other option than out. Really are in a complete pickle here,
Yeah.
Glamorgan. 7 down, 40 on the board. 11 overs gone, just over.
I think we're about to see Glamorgan's lowest score in the T20, which currently stands at 88. They'll be struggling to get there.
Yeah, bit of a way to go. Mexican wave started.
Which was last year against Sussex at Hove when they got spun into the dirt by Rashid Khan and co.
Nick, what do you reckon? Hangover from the last game against Gloucester, do you think?
Didn't back convincingly there either.
Tahir, he's in, and that's the googly. And Salter, who bowled so well, is out there having to do a job with the bat. I actually think Surrey bowled pretty well here,
Very well,
didn't they?
very well.
Very
Confident.
especially up front.
He's got a slip in here as well. So confident they are at the moment.
Tahir is in. Oh, that skids on to Salter.
Another dot
and
ball.
Thinks about a single. I just think that, you know, at home, you haven't scored enough runs. Tom Curran comes in, takes a hat-trick in the second over, and all of a sudden your tails are up. As Tahir is in, and has he got him caught behind? He has! No. Salter looking to cut, thick edge, and into the gloves of Ollie Pope. 2 in the over for Imran Tahir. Salter's gone, and now it's 40 for 8, Glamorgan. And this is an extraordinary night, it really is. There was me talking about this game could be over if the top 4 for the Glamorgan get in early. As it is, it could be over early because Glamorgan could be all out pretty quickly. 40 for 8, Glamorgan in the 12th over.
Salter looking to cut that ball to here, world class, thinking, right, I sense an edge here, I'm going to put a slip in. It didn't end up in the slip's hand, ended up with Pope with the gloves on behind the wicket. Very good bowling. A little bit of extra bounce is probably the undoing of Salter there with the edge.
I also wonder what was said in that circle by Surrey before they came out, because they looked fired up in the first over. The first over from Dernbach went for 5. There was that shot from Lloyd that went behind square for 4. And then Tom Curran took the hat-trick, and then Dernbach's next over was a yard quicker. And as I say, all of a sudden the crowd are into it, and there's the atmosphere picks up, and it's been they've been very, very good with the ball tonight. So, but I think in a way for them, it became a pretty simple equation. We're going to have to bowl Glamorgan out to win this game of cricket now. So De Lange can hit a very long ball, is in. Oh, here he goes, straight away, down the ground. This could be out. Tom Curran takes the catch, flicks it inside the rope to Jordan Clark. Tahir will be on a hat-trick as well now. De Lange goes first ball. He's taken 3 in the over. Clever stuff from Tom Curran. Good work with Jordan Clark. And all of a sudden, Glamorgan are 40 for 9. Wow. I said De Lange likes to hit a long ball. He hadn't hung around.
There's nothing like having a look at it, is there?
And that was nothing like it.
Having a look at it. Unbelievable.
Wowee.
First ball, right, whack, straight over, long on, caught in the boundary, comfortable catch in the end. Curran caught the ball, realised he was running out of space and running over the boundary, just flicked it up to his teammate in a comfortable catch.
Can I say, we have seen 4 of the best boundary catches you could wish to see in this game. Absolutely terrific.
Both teams have put on a bit of
brilliant,
a show.
Absolutely brilliant. These are the modern way of doing it, and they've taken some absolute pearlers today. They really have. And Tahir is on a hat-trick. Now, there can't be too many T20 games where there have been 2 hat-tricks. I don't think that's probably ever happened.
I wonder sort of field he'll set.
Probably get short-legged now.
Do you think he'll have a man round the corner? Leg slip?
Yeah, I would have thought. Well, I suppose. Yeah, does it? Yeah, he will. Look, here goes Finch.
Here we go.
Yeah, so Finch will go in round the corner.
Leg slip.
Or is he? Leg slip.
Conventional slip, leg slip. Pretty much a ring field beyond a deep point and a deep square.
Yeah. And Duthwaite is on strike because they did cross. Hang on, we've got a runner out there now. This is confusing. Duthwaite has got a runner out there. Hang on. So Duthwaite's on strike. And Hogan has gone out. Hogan's out square leg.
Hogan's injured as well. So they've both got a runner.
Right. Oh my lord.
Well spotted. They both got a runner.
Yeah, both batsmen have got runners. Duthwaite's the man on strike. This is the hat-trick ball. It's tossed up and looking to try this.
So Duthwaite
hasn't got a runner. It's Hogan who's got the runner. That's where I couldn't get my head round it.
Duthwaite needs a runner.
Yeah, he
hasn't got a runner. But Hogan's come out there with a runner.
I think that's where Surrey have got so confused. Everybody's confused now. Who's running for who? So Hogan's come out with a runner. And I think Jay Dernbach's asking, who's running for who here? But it will be Hogan having the runner. Yeah. Duthwaite no runner. No. And at the end of all of that, that's the end of the over. So Hogan's saying he's running for me to Jay Dernbach. So I think Jay Dernbach's really confused with who's running for who here, and then says, right, so you're running for her. Right, fine.
Easily done.
Easily done.
Easily done, confused.
To be honest with you, I looked there, what? Well spotted, Mr. Powell.
Cool.
God dear. 12 gone. After all that, it's all happened tonight. 41 for 9. Glamorgan.
Just a single in the end.
Yeah.
This is chaos. Gareth Batty is in from the pavilion end to bowl for Dan Duthwaite, who comes down the pitch, punches it through mid-wicket, and they'll take a single up to long on. Douthwaite can barely
He needs a
hobble either.
runner as well. So now Hogan comes marching over. Wow, seen it all tonight, really have.
So Hogan probably with some sort of hamstring strain maybe, but Douthwaite's also got surely a strain.
Yeah, Morgan's running for Hogan. Now umpire Debenham's going to have to go across towards cover point.
Yeah.
This is absolutely comical, actually.
If there's not a
Poor
run,
old Douthwaite can't run.
if there's not a run out here, there never will be.
There never will be.
Batty to Hogan, who gets one off the edge, and he almost runs. They've taken a single. Douthwaite's hobbled down to the striker's end. Hogan limps off to square leg. 43 for 9. A mere 99
Brilliant.
needed to win for the last wicket.
Forget the 100. This is what you need for entertainment. Unbelievable.
Douthwaite on strike on 5. Batty bowls. Douthwaite punches that one through mid-wicket, and they'll take just the single. That would surely have been 2 in normal circumstances, but Douthwaite can't run.
Well, as you say, Mike, if we don't get a run out here, we never will. I don't think anybody knows what's going on at the moment.
It's chaos. It's been that sort of night. Back on his stumps goes Hogan and plays it gently to short extra cover, and there's no run. Glamorgan 44 for 9, chasing 1 for 2. Batty is in to bowl, and there's an appeal for catch at the wickets.
I think he's saying he
Or is
bowled
it
him.
stumped?
Bowled him?
Or bowled?
I think he's saying he bowled him.
I think
Wolf is
that-
saying, yeah. That's it. He's bowled
That's
him.
it, he has. He's bowled him. And it's all over.
Celebrations for Surrey. Hogan has gone for a single. Glamorgan are dismissed for 44, their lowest ever score, and Surrey are victors by 97 runs, having posted just 141 themselves.
What an extraordinary night that is. You know, really and truly, I think Surrey was still way below where they needed to be, but they've just come out and bowled brilliantly. And to knock Glamorgan over for 44 and to win a game by 97 runs when you only posted 141 yourselves is extraordinary. And that actually, in a way, is quite a big win for Surrey, in the fact that that's the first ever time they've beaten Glamorgan in T20 cricket here at the Kia Oval. For Glamorgan, that'll be, well, they won't quite know what's happened there, I don't think.
I tell you what happened there is, well, we didn't get it wrong. We got it horribly wrong.
Horribly wrong. Said top 4, one of them gets in, we'll be done early.
Yeah.
We are done early. And Glamorgan
44. I never saw that coming.
No, I didn't either.
There's nothing that lent towards that being the result. History here with Glamorgan playing at the ground, the team that Surrey had, out due respect to what they had in the field and what they possibly could have in the field with call-ups to Test cricket and injuries that they got with folks. But Glamorgan, that'll hit them hard there tonight. They'll be scratching their heads, and I'd imagine Matthew Maynard and the rest of the coaching team and the captain Ingram will just say, right boys, bad day in the office, let's put it behind us, let's move on. Big game tomorrow against Middlesex, who I understand lost today.
Yes.
Yep.
So right, let's hit them hard tomorrow, and let's put it behind us, the bad day office, and move forward. They won't dwell too much on this.
Absolutely. I think as well, what you say to yourselves is, if you're Glamorgan, is you came across Surrey's strongest suit on their best night. Because, Tom, if you can take a hat-trick in the second over and then all of a sudden the crowd are into it, and the equation was simple for Surrey. They had to go out there and bowl Glamorgan out, and they've done that. And I think you probably, if you're Glamorgan, say to yourselves, well, look, we've come across Surrey on a night where they have put it together with the ball. Because let's be honest, Glamorgan with the ball themselves and in the field were outstanding to keep Surrey to 141.
If you look at those bowling figures, Tom Curran 3 for 3, Imran Tahir 3 for 8, Gareth Batty 3 for 7. But I think, Mike, that the wickets taken by Tahir and Batty owe much to the wickets taken by Curran up front to create that pressure, that sense of panic in the top order.
Curran doing back just set the tone. I mean, that hat-trick is difficult to come back from a hat-trick, but we're chasing such a low score. I thought there's always a chance that someone just got this game with a scruff of the neck and dug in. I thought Glamorgan would be victors on how many wickets they were going to lose, but they just kept on losing wickets after that superb over from Curran. Just wasn't their night tonight. Well done, Surrey. Unbelievable effort in the field. Bowling Glamorgan out for 44.
Well, it's been a quite extraordinary evening all round here at the Oval. Glamorgan are left with just 1 point from 3 games. Surrey are up and running, and really the margin of that victory might well do huge credit to Surrey as they look forward to the remaining weeks of their campaign. And how much damage will it do to Glamorgan?
Yeah, well, they've played 3 games now. Well, they've been involved in 3 games, 1 rained off, but 2 losses, and they took 1 point from that draw against Middlesex, which they didn't look in a great position.
Against Gloucestershire.
Sorry, against Gloucester, which were halfway through the game. Scores were
96 for 8.
Wasn't great.
No.
So, no, it's a big game for them tomorrow. They're all big games, but this is a huge game on their home turf against a team that's just need to get a win under their belt and get themselves back on the wagon.
Well, how do you finish that one off? We have had everything tonight, everybody. Lightning, rain, foxes, bumblebees, brilliant bowling from Glamorgan and out cricket from Glamorgan, and then brilliant bowling and out cricket from Surrey. Surrey will head to Hove tomorrow to take on Sussex and Joffer Archer, who's been made available for that one with renewed confidence. They'll still think about their batting, but if you can bowl and field like that, then they'll believe they can beat anybody. But what a night, gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your company as well, Mike Powell and Nick Webb. So, Mr. Webb, tomorrow for you?
Yeah, tomorrow, myself, Mike as well, and Edward Bevan at Sapphire Gardens. Well, that escalated quickly. Things can only get better.
And for Surrey tomorrow, down at Hove against Sussex Sharks. So, the news tonight: Surrey have, for the first time ever in the T20, have beaten Glamorgan in the most unbelievable fashion here at the Kia Oval. Good night from all of us. Good night from the Bumblebees, who are... It's going to take them a while to get back to their hive tonight, I think. There may be a few wings left on the pavement. But an amazing night, amazing game of cricket. Thanks for your company as always. From us all, it's a very, very good night.